You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1056. 1056 Chapter 255, Layer After Layer 4. Lu Wenyan didn't teach him any martial arts or godly skills. He only showed him some things at that time. Perhaps in Lu Wenyan's eyes, these things were more important than those things. During that period of time, Suyu left early and returned late. He saw a lot of things. Teacher by phone. No. Suyu didn't say much and continued walking. Suddenly, his eyes flickered. In front of him, he seemed to be somewhat familiar. That was a huge mountain. In the memory fragment he saw that day, when sect leader Tianyi flew out, he seemed to have seen this mountain as well. It disappeared in a flash. However, it should be this mountain. It should be around here. There were mountain peaks, canyons, and the unique flowers and plants that he had seen that day. That was the location of the treasury. Suyu's heart trembled slightly. He had found the place. It was probably the time for a life-and-death battle to erupt. At this moment, his gaze turned to Xia Qing and the others. Xia Qing happened to be looking at him as well. At this moment, she suddenly felt her heart palpitate. What was going on? Suyu's gaze changed rapidly. He smiled and said, "Princess Qing, we seem to be arriving soon. Everyone, be careful. When we arrive at the place, I'm worried that someone will follow us. They will make a move. Everyone, pay attention to your safety." After reminding everyone, at this moment, the void trembled. A huge mountain appeared. It looked at Suyu and said, "Be careful. There seems to be something wrong around here. There might be a mountain and sea realm expert following us. Don't worry." Suyu didn't say much and revealed a smile. The big show was about to begin. Huge mountain, one-eyed, blood moon, Xia Huyo's 2 Dao protectors, and the mountain and sea realm expert who followed me that day. I don't know if he's here or not. On his side, there were only these 5 confirmed mountain and sea realm experts. It wasn't much, but Suyu didn't mind. If it really came to a critical juncture, Zhu Tiandao would make a move. What he had to do was to force the other party to make a move on him. He could kill those from the Myriad Clan's sect as he pleased, but those from the Divine One faction had to make a move on him in order to have an excuse to kill him. Otherwise, it would be difficult for Zhu Tiandao. Zhu Tiandao wasn't afraid of rashly killing the experts of the Divine One faction, but it would bring some trouble to the Daming Manor. As for Suyu, his goal was to force the other party to attack him. It wasn't enough for him to just stand around and watch. If he wanted to kill him, he had to kill him in a justified manner. At that time, there would still be a good show to watch. Suyu had already prepared the recording talisman. After the matter was over, he would announce it to the world. In any case, he wasn't afraid. As for whether the Great Xia Manor would be in trouble or not, it had nothing to do with him. Since he had decided to join the Great Ming Mansion, he had to stand on the side of the Great Ming Mansion at this moment. He had to consider the interests of the Great Ming Mansion. If he wanted to enter the Great Ming Mansion, he had to do so in a positive manner. He had been forced into the Great Ming Mansion because he had no other choice. He was not a traitor. Chen Yong had already said that he had to leave a path for himself. Otherwise, if he betrayed the Great Xia Mansion today and betrayed the Great Ming Mansion tomorrow, his reputation would be completely tarnished. It would not be easy to survive. From the corner of his eyes, he looked at Xia Qing and the others once again. Only by borrowing a knife to kill someone else would he be able to do so. He would still be able to use the experts from the Yunhu clan. I'll give you all some guts. You won't dare to betray me the moment you arrive. Otherwise, if an expert escapes, you'll be dead for sure. If you really want to betray me, you'll probably have to wait for the overall situation to be settled before these people would dare to do so. I can still make use of this trash. Suyu thought to himself as he moved forward again. This time, the further he walked, the more familiar he became. These scenes had appeared in the memory fragments. They were almost there. As he walked, Suyu said, "We're almost at the ruins, but don't barge in recklessly. Ruins are very dangerous. Only I can open it. My blood is the key to opening the ruins. Unless you kill me, but if you kill me, the Great Xia Mansion won't let this matter rest." Suyu said faintly, "Only my blood can open the ruins. There's also a complete set of divine literature hand seals. Everyone, don't think too much." Once these words were said, someone in the air said furiously, "Suyu, cut the crap. Who wants to kill you? Old heavenly horse." Suyu smiled. "Senior has misunderstood. I'll inform you in advance to avoid any misunderstandings. In other words, if you want to open the remains, capture me and let me bleed, I still need to be alive. If you don't capture me, it's useless to just find the remains. If you only use the divine texts, don't kill me for the remains. If you don't, then I'll have a headache. Although this probability is almost non-existent, can't you take precautions? You have to kill me, capture me. This will force you all to make a move." Just as Suyu was approaching the treasury, Starfall Mountain, outside of the area where Suyu and the others were located. One expert after another entered the area. Zhou Pingsheng had also arrived. At this moment, he had changed his appearance. He was also bringing a few people with him to set up something. In the next moment, the one-eyed man walked out from the void. He glanced at him and ignored him. He looked at the blood crocodile and said, "Your mission is to seal off this mountain. No one is allowed to enter or leave. Especially not one person from the inside. Even if the mountain and sea break out of the encirclement, you have to hold them off. 7 or 8 Lingyun will be able to hold off one mountain and sea for a while." The one-eyed man said coldly, "If you think that you can escape from the pursuit of several mountains and seas after letting anyone escape, then give it a try." After saying that, he looked at Zhou Pingsheng and said coldly, "Your mission is to seal off the voice transmission channel. It's not enough to count on a few Lingyun." Zhou Pingsheng snorted and didn't waste any more words. Jade talismans appeared one after another. Instantly, they shot out in all directions. He despised them in his heart. How could they understand the power of a civilized master? It was just sealing the voice transmission channel. Did they think that they needed the mountains and seas to do it? How could the mountains and seas have so much free time? It was something that could be solved with a large array. The one-eyed man smiled and didn't say anything else. He quickly disappeared. The experts below the mountains and seas were scattered all over the place. Their mission was to not allow anyone to enter or leave. The battlefield was inside. Even if someone escaped, there would be so many Lingyun flying in the sky to entangle the mountains and seas. Zhou Pingsheng set up the formation while looking at the deep canyon. It was over there. Suyu was finally going to die today. The ruins. He was also tempted, but, when he thought about the mountains and seas, he felt a bit helpless. Just as he was thinking, the voice transmission talisman flickered, and he opened it. It was Yu Hong's message. "Leave a path for our voice transmission talisman. Don't let anyone discover it. Also, make preparations. Notify the others to set up another formation outside. Eradicate the weeds and roots. Kill all those people from the Myriad Clan sect. Eradicate the roots." At this moment, Yu Hong had given the order. Everything here today belonged to the single Divine One faction. The ruins belonged to Suyu, and so did the members of the Myriad Clan sect. They had to kill all of them to feel at ease. Otherwise, although they hadn't seen the appearance of the single Divine One faction's expert, they could still capture a bit of her aura when they were in the mountains and seas. They could guess who she was. They had to kill them all. Zhou Pingsheng remained calm. It was good that they had all been killed. He was also worried that if someone escaped, the members of the Myriad Clan sect would become a big trouble. Now, Yu Hong wanted to kill them to silence them. This was exactly what he wanted. The voice transmission talisman vibrated. Set up an array outside. No one is allowed to enter or leave. At this moment, an invisible array rose from some distance away from them. In the small village. Zhu Tiandao was speechless, F***CK. They're all 1,000-layer pancakes. How many arrays have been set up? There are several arrays in the Divine Language Department, and there are also several arrays in the Myriad Clan sect. The others are also setting up arrays. We're rich. With so many array talismans, we can even sell them for 500,000 merit points. Each of them was more insidious than the last. Had the battle outside already reached such a state? Each and every one of them had a trick up their sleeves. There were more mountains and seas than they had imagined. He couldn't help but look at Director Ho. Old Ho, is the Daming Manor out of date? Director Ho didn't say anything. It wasn't out of date, it was especially out of date. F***CK, if those fellows from the Daming Manor were to go out, they would be set up to die. Look at this Starfall Mountain. There were formations all over the place, and each and every one of them wanted to take everything for themselves. They all wanted to get rid of the root of the problem. If it wasn't for Suyu asking them to guard it in advance, the battle here would have turned into a paste, they might not even know. The single Divine One faction wanted to wipe out the entire Myriad Clan sect, and the Myriad Clan sect also had some backup plans. They were afraid that the single Divine One faction would fall out with them. In the void, there were dozens of high-level recording talismans. If they hadn't set up the great formation set up by the great Ming King in advance, they probably wouldn't have known anything. If they were careless, the sun and moon might even fall in. Director Ho was still thinking, but in the next moment. Zhu Tiandao said with a toothache, I have to inform the old man. So many mountains and seas have died. I'm afraid that I won't be able to hold on. If the sun and moon die, then I won't be able to hold on any longer. If the sun and moon die, the War God Hall and the Chiu Soa realm will be punished. I have to call for help. Damn, this Suyu, your ability to stir up trouble makes me very worried. This has not yet entered the Ming Mansion, my heart is thumping. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1057. 1057 Chapter 256 Mountain and Sea Fall, LRB Subscribe, 1. In front of a tall mountain peak. Suyu stopped in his tracks and looked at the mountain peak in front of him. He squatted down, and a divine light flashed in his eyes as he looked around. Was it here? In the memory fragment from that day, he saw the scene of the heavenly divine sect master leaving the treasury. Was it here? It was very similar. It's around here. Seniors, you'd better check if there's anyone lurking around. Suyu shouted. Very quickly, he said, spread out, don't be ambushed by the mountains and seas. Once ambushed, the aftershocks of the battle will affect us. From all directions, the figures of the mountains and seas appeared. They were nearly 1,000 meters away from Suyu and the others and didn't get close. Just as Suyu had said, if the mountains and seas were to really fight, the distance was too close. Once they got close, it would affect this student. 6 mountain and sea realm cultivators and 2 Lingyun realm cultivators. One of the original 3 had died. The 2 9th-level Lingyun realm cultivators were from the Black Panther and Flying Wolf clans respectively. At this moment, the Cloud Tiger clan expert said, fellow Taoists Black Panther and Flying Wolf, the 2 of you can stay close to protect us. We can just guard the outer perimeter. The 2 of them were both Lingyun realm cultivators, and the other mountain and sea realm cultivators also felt that it wasn't safe for them to guard the outer perimeter. The two of them did not say much. Soon, two middle-aged men came over. Both of them had some racial characteristics, and the Black Panther race warrior had many stripes on his face. Su Yu did not say anything, but he did not dare to be careless. These two guys were not with Xia Qing, and Xia Qing did not introduce them, but it did not mean that they were good people. Especially when the Cloud Tiger race warrior asked them to protect him, it was very likely that one or even two of them were on their side. Those mountains and seas continued to spread out in circles. Cloud Tiger, Giant Mountain, Pegasus, Mountain Antelope, Wild Ox, Fox Race, 6 Mountain Sea Realm Warriors. At this moment, the Mountain Antelope race's powerhouse had sneaked underground to prevent the enemy from attacking from underground. The Pegasus race's powerhouse had escaped into the void, defending against the attack from the sky. The other 4 split up to defend in all directions. "Thank you for your trouble, seniors," Su Yu said to the two approaching Ling Yun. He kept his expression calm and blocked the genius students of the two races behind him. At this moment, Swan Ni and the Diamond Mountain Ox were also surrounding Su Yu. Black Panther and Flying Wolf. Among them, the Flying Wolf race's expert was a civilized master. He could feel the strong waves of willpower while the Black Panther race was a warrior. He could feel the strong waves of vital chi. Su Yu was very vigilant. A civilized master was actually still alright. Although the little furball on his head had not advanced, the other party's divine artifact had appeared. Even if the little furball could not devour it, it could still block it. As for a warrior, at this moment, he was actually more difficult to deal with than a civilized master. Without saying anything else, Su Yu continued forward. The further he went, the more familiar he became. At this moment, the wills of the other mountain and sea realm experts swept across the area as well. Several mountain and sea realm experts quickly sent telepathic messages. Is there a barrier inside the mountain ahead? It seems like it. The few of them sent telepathic messages, feeling a little excited. Ruins? Definitely. These mountain and sea realm experts didn't notice anything when they swept the area for the first time. After a few more sweeps, they finally felt that something was different. The first time they swept the area, something seemed to have covered it up. The ruins were just ahead. To be able to hide it from the mountain and sea realm experts, the engineering and defensive formations weren't weak. As expected, Su Yu wasn't lying, and he wasn't spouting nonsense. Was it dangerous to enter? How to open it? Would others destroy the ruins if they opened it? At this point, it was impossible to determine. It was best to wait for Su Yu to open it himself to prevent the ruins from self-destructing. As for Su Yu, he kept searching. Soon, he arrived at a mountain pass. In front of him was still the stone wall of the mountain. Su Yu could vaguely feel the fluctuations of some divine runes. This place should have been sealed with divine runes. This stone wall was probably where the door was. How to open it? Su Yu didn't know. He didn't know how to open it. Su Yu didn't care and shouted, "It's here. I found it. The place was found. Little friend, do you want to open it and enter now?" Someone asked, "Open it and see." Su Yu looked around and said, "Everyone, I can't bring everyone into this place. I'll go in alone. I'll come out in 2 or 3 hours at most." Then, he said, "Senior Jushan, help me set up a mountain and sea barrier to prevent prying eyes." As soon as he said this, Old Heavenly Horse couldn't help but curse, "Kid, you're judging a gentleman by his petty heart. You're looking down on us too much. Will we peek at how you're going to get in?" "Alright, maybe. I'm curious." The ruins. When the others heard this, they all had different thoughts. Su Yu didn't let them see, nor did he bring them in. If Su Yu really went in by himself, who knew when he would come out? Who knew if he would come out this way? Who knew if he would ruin everything in the ruins? Further outside, several mountains and seas gathered. At this moment, they also heard Su Yu's voice. Blood Moon said somewhat impatiently, "Make your move. If this kid really goes in and doesn't come out for a few years, then what should we do? This kid is crafty. He said that he will come out in a few hours. If he doesn't come out, can we force our way into the ruins? We have to do it now." Killing the other mountains and seas and capturing Su Yu were the real targets. Yu Hong also couldn't wait any longer. He quickly said, "Follow the plan. You deal with them. We'll capture Su Yu and deal with the supervisor of the Xia family." This was also what they had agreed on earlier. At this moment, Blood Moon and the others couldn't hold it in any longer. In the next moment, streaks of light shot out from the sky. Enemy attack. An explosive roar spread out. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1058. 1058 Chapter 256 Mountain and Sea Fall, LRB Subscribe, 2. Boom. The two sides quickly met. Blood Moon, One-Eyed, Divine Dragon Sex Yun Fei, and Devil Scorpion Sex Red Dust almost instantly collided with the four mountain and sea realm experts at the periphery. In the air, Blood Raksha suppressed the old heavenly horse with a single strike. The old heavenly horse was covered in blood as it directly fell from the sky. It was at the seventh realm of the mountain and sea realm. Underground, the old mountain antelope was just about to rise into the air when the old heavenly horse shouted, "You guard underground. I can block it." The old heavenly horse was not weak either, he was a powerful warrior of the sixth realm of the mountain and sea realm. At this moment, he roared and quickly recovered his true form. It was a heavenly horse with wings. His entire body was golden. After he recovered his true form, his strength increased greatly. His body expanded rapidly, and he stomped down with his four hooves. He quickly fought with Blood Raksha. Yu Hong, Old Zheng, and Old Li Gu did not make a move at this moment. The three of them were waiting. As expected, in the blink of an eye, a beam of light shot over from behind. The Xia clan's inspector had arrived. Yu Hong's face was illusory, and she transmitted her voice, "It's Hu Hao. He has to die. Otherwise, it'll be hard for us to hide from him." She recognized who it was. It was one of General Hu's nephews, a seventh level of the mountain and sea realm, and he was very powerful. Both sides were quite familiar with each other. If the other party was still alive, whether it was killing Su Yu, colluding with the 10,000 clans sect, or seizing the ruins, they would all be exposed. "Old Zheng, you and I will join hands to kill him. Old Li, go and capture Su Yu." Yu Hong quickly gave the order. After saying this, he didn't waste any more words and flew out. Before he appeared, a divine symbol exploded. Hu Hao, who had just arrived, was the mountain and sea middle-aged man who had been protecting Su Yu on the road. His expression changed, and he shouted, "Trapped realm? Who are you?" In all directions, at this moment, the void froze. Two figures appeared outside of the void. Hu Hao, on the other hand, was trapped within the trapped realm. Yu Hong and Hu Hao didn't say anything. At this moment, the mystery of the mountain and sea realm civilization masters was revealed without a doubt. The trapped realm appeared, and in the next moment, Yu Hong let out a low shout. Divine runes appeared one after another. As a seventh-level mountain and sea realm cultivator, she was no weakling. There were a total of 8 divine runes. Among the single divine runes, she could be considered to have many divine runes. At this moment, a mountain of blades and a sea of flames appeared. A strong wind blew past. Old Zheng also let out a low growl. He didn't have that many divine runes, and only had one main divine rune. At this moment, the main divine rune had transformed into an enormous beast that was incredibly powerful. It charged into the trapped realm and pounced toward Hu Hao. This enormous beast was no weaker than a 7th-level mountain and sea realm cultivator. Beast divine text. Hu Hao's face fell. Trapped realm, mountain of blades, sea of flames, beast divine text. Damn it, bastards, it's you. He had guessed the identity of the newcomer. Although he hadn't confirmed it yet, he had guessed it. Inwardly, he cursed Su Yu, that bastard. Last time, he had said that he might not have enough for this trip. He didn't believe it. After all, he was at the 7th level of the mountain and sea realm. What was there to be afraid of? But now, he couldn't help but curse again. F***ck. This kid was really good. He had really driven these guys crazy. This was a rebellion. Once they were found out, these people would be dead for sure. Yu Hong couldn't be bothered with them. He said faintly, no one who the Myriad clan wants to kill will live. So what if you recognize them? You won't have the chance to report it. The battle erupted instantly. Su Yu's group, including Li Minyu and the others, weren't too surprised at this moment. It was as if they all knew that they were waiting for this moment. The two Dao protectors, Ling Yun, were extremely nervous at this moment. They surrounded the few of them, their expressions changing constantly. Be careful. At this moment, the old mountain antelope underground couldn't hold it in any longer. It instantly erupted and charged towards the sky. The old Pegasus wasn't a match for Blood Raksha. At that moment, its golden fur was stained with blood. Damn it, go back. The old Pegasus roared. There was no defense down there. After that roar, it quickly shouted, retreat, a formation has been set up here. Quickly retreat and inform the dragon martial guards to come to our aid. F***ck. There were too many of them. They could already sense that the supervisor at the periphery had been stopped. Not only was he stopped, but he was also in danger. He might be finished. 7 mountains and seas. They were all targeted. The guy in front of them was at the 7th level of the mountain and sea realm. He was no match for them. Only when the old mountain antelope came to his aid did he feel relieved. However, at this moment, the old heavenly horse was frightened again. Black Panther, Flying Wolf, stop them. Another mountain and sea realm warrior had come. Elder Li. 4th level of the mountain and sea realm. At this moment, Elder Li's face was illusory. He walked out of the void, and divine runes appeared. Ice and snow fell, and the snowflakes fell one after another. Pucci. The Black Panther and Flying Wolf roared in unison. However, their bodies were covered in blood after being cut by the snowflakes. The two of them quickly recovered their true bodies. The Black Panther roared as it charged towards Elder Li. The Flying Wolf also roared in a low voice, and a literary weapon appeared, 10,000 swords exploded. They started fighting. Su Yu watched from the side coldly. Even though Elder Li was right in front of him and the two Ling Yun kept retreating, he didn't care too much. His eyes flickered, but Su Yu ignored them. Walking to the front of the call, he faced the wall and shot out waves of divine runes. He cut his right hand, and blood flowed. At this moment, the stone wall started to tremble. It gave people the feeling that Su Yu was very calm and wanted to enter the ruins to take refuge. Moreover, Su Yu was also filled with confidence in this ruins. Outside, Yu Hong's voice was unreal as he shouted, "Stop him, don't let him in." Elder Li shouted in a low voice. The snowflakes turned into hail and crashed down, causing the two Ling Yuns to bleed profusely. The Black Panther roared, "Su Yu, how long will it take to open?" 3 minutes. Su Yu shouted, "Seniors, stop him for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, you will be free to leave. Their target is the ruins. After I enter, they will not be able to enter again. Everyone, evacuate and call for help. The Great Xia Mansion will not let them off." You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1059. 1059 Chapter 256 Mountain and Sea Fall, LRB Subscribe, 3. Alright. Old Pegasus and the others roared and fought with their lives on the line. If Su Yu entered the ruins, then these guys' goal would have failed. After failing, would these people still want to fight to the death with them? At this moment, Su Yu was rapidly opening the ruins. Of course, the stone walls were shaking, but Su Yu's willpower was only shaking. How could he open any ruins? After all, these guys didn't know the situation. Was there more? He was waiting. Were there only these few? After some calculations, only 3 people from the single Divine One faction had come. Yu Hong, that person from the Dashang mansion, and Pavilion Elderly. The one who should be attacking Black Panther and the others now should be Pavilion Elderly, right? Was there more? There must be more. They had to be fished out, and they had to be wiped out in one fell swoop. The 2 people that Xia Huyo had brought hadn't even made a move yet. Just as Su Yu was thinking, the void trembled, and in the distance, a great battle instantly erupted. Xia Wen, Xia Wu, it's you. At this moment, the 4 great experts on the other side instantly exchanged blows. Xia Huyo's 2 Dao protectors, namely Xia Wen and Xia Wu, the eldest, Xia Wen, roared angrily, ****, it's you. Xia Wu directly called out their names and roared, are you crazy? You're courting death. Does the 9 Heavens Academy want to be exterminated? Tang Yunfei, Qiu Yunhua, you actually dare to attack us. Acquaintances. When Su Yu heard these 2 names, he laughed. They were really acquaintances. Back then, the group of people who attacked Lu Wenyan had sent quite a number of people from the 9 Heavens Academy, and these 2 were among them. Tang Yunfei, Qiu Yunhua, and Tang Yunfei's senior brother were good friends of the 5th generation back then. This fellow wanted nothing more than to kill Lu Wenyan with one strike in order to observe the divine text. As for the head of the 9 Heavens Academy, Jin Yuhui, he was one of the leaders of the single divine texts, at least in the Great Xia Academy. His strength was not inferior to Zhou Mingren's. As expected, these 2 fellows had come. 9 Heavens Academy. Su Yu coldly snorted in his heart. So many mountains and seas appeared as if they were free. In the blink of an eye, 4 of them had appeared. Fortunately, these 2 brothers from the Xia family had appeared. Otherwise, once these 2 appeared, the battle situation on this side would collapse. And at this moment, old Pegasus and the others were also filled with fear. The experts from the school. Damn it! Had the single Divine One faction gone mad? With so many experts from the school, no wonder they felt that something wasn't right. There were too many civilized masters, and the Myriad Clan sect was still dominated by warriors. The civilized masters were orderly, and the Myriad Clan sect didn't have many civilized masters. And today, a large number of civilized masters had joined the battle. You guys are crazy. The Pegasus roared. At this moment, Elderly had already killed 2 Ling Yuns, and they were covered in wounds. They were about to completely collapse. At this moment, a sword light appeared. With a poochie sound, it shattered the ice mountain on the outer perimeter. A human figure appeared. Elder Li's illusory face revealed a look of shock. It's you. The sword ray was retracted. The person turned his head to look at Su Yu and sighed. Little kid, you're too bold. Su Yu did not recognize the person and was a little surprised. Elderly was about to defeat these 2. Su Yu was already prepared to run away. He thought that he could get the Zhu family to make a move, but in the end, another person appeared. Who was it? He did not know, but someone did. Elder Li said in shock, Feng Qi, it's you. Feng Qi. Suyu had never heard of this name. This was the first time he had seen the middle-aged man in front of him. He didn't hide his face. Feng Qi chuckled and said, "Greetings, elderly. Your ice and snow domain is famous. At this time, is there a need to hide it?" "You." Elderly was shocked. "You didn't die." "I was lucky enough to escape." Feng Qi laughed and said, "I almost died when I was exploring the Starry Sky Mansion." "Elderly, you're still alive. Back then, I was hot-blooded and believed that the Battle of Dan Duo was just a normal competition. I didn't expect that your people would dare to kill their teammates in the starry manner. The single Divine One faction should have been destroyed long ago." As he spoke, sword lights shot out in all directions. Rumble. The ice and snow domain continued to shatter. At this moment, Elderly was also anxious. This Feng Qi had also reached the fourth layer of the mountain and sea realm. He was actually no match for the other party. Suyu also had a strange look in his eyes. If this wasn't someone from the Many Divine Languages department, then who had called him here? Uncle Master. He made a guess in his heart. It was probably Uncle Master who had called him here. Since that was the case, he could wait for a while. After all, there were still a few fellows who hadn't been exposed yet. For example, Yunhu and the others. Suyu's heart moved slightly as he looked at the battle outside. Blood Moon was fighting Yunhu, and One-Eyed was fighting Shan Hai from the Fox clan. With this thought in mind, Suyu remained calm. Since there was no danger for the time being, he would continue. "I want to see how many people I can draw out today." At this moment, Blood Moon, who was fighting Yunhu, suddenly sent a voice transmission. "Idiot, who told you to go all out? Are you really going to fight me to the death?" Yunhu's heart shook. Wasn't this a member of the Myriad Clan sect? "Trash, don't be too fake." Blood Moon quickly sent a voice transmission, "One-Eyed and I are both chess pieces planted by the single Divine Language faction. This time, we are determined to get them. We must kill every single one of them. We must not let others see that we are cooperating with them. Later, you, me, One-Eyed, and that old fox will fight to the side of the Divine Dragon sect and the Demonic Scorpion sect, waiting for an opportunity to kill them." Yunhu was shocked and immediately looked at the old fox. The old fox also hurriedly looked at him. The two of them looked at each other and were both shocked. The single Divine Language faction had actually planted a chess piece in the Myriad Clan religion. Furthermore, it was two mountains and seas. No wonder they could control the Myriad Clan religion. Blood Moon angrily rebuked, "Trash, are you still mountains and seas? Calm down, do you want to die?" The Cloud Tiger race expert suppressed the palpitations in his heart and hurriedly sent a voice transmission, "Now kill those two from the Myriad Clan sect." You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1060. 1060 Chapter 256 Shan Hai Yun 4. Of course not. Blood Moon quickly said, "Wait for the order. It's equal to Pavilion Master Yu's order. Once the order arrives, feign encirclement and kill the others first, then counterattack and kill those two guys." Yunhu understood. He understood. And at this moment, Yu Hong indeed couldn't wait any longer. Damn it, why did so many experts appear? They were in big trouble. 3 warriors from the Xia family had come. She was terrified. She was even worried that the Xia family had found out about this. "Golu, Kaki!" Yu Hong shouted. It was their code language, an extremely rare race language. Yunhu and the others understood immediately. "Kill the others." Blood Moon and the others also heard her voice transmission. "Put down your opponents. They are our people. Kill that Tianma and the mountain antelope, and that giant. Hurry. Only these 3 were not our people. If we kill them, we will instantly have 7 or 8 more mountains and seas. No more acting. At this point, it was only right to end the battle as soon as possible and kill them immediately. Yunhu looked at Blood Moon and heaved a sigh of relief. So the other party knew that they were really his people. Blood Moon ignored them and quickly regrouped with one eye. Yunhu and the old fox also regrouped. The 4 powerful warriors looked at each other and charged toward the mountain. At this moment, the huge mountain was facing Red Dust of the Demon Scorpion sect. On the other side, Wild Bull and Yunfei of the Divine Dragon sect did not have the same tacit understanding as these 4 people. They looked at each other and were somewhat wary of each other. They did not stop at the first moment. When Red Dust of the Demon Scorpion sect saw so many experts suddenly charging toward him, he was also shocked. Just the divine text alone had bribed these Tao protectors of the 10,000 races. That was awesome. Zhu Shan was dead for sure. He was constantly bleeding from Zhu Shan's attacks, and at this moment, he secretly heaved a sigh of relief. Although he was a little worried about how powerful Shan Shenwen's faction was, it wasn't as if they didn't have any arrangements. Let's kill these fellows from the Great Xia Mansion first. Just as he was thinking, the 4 of them arrived and attacked Zhu Shan at the same time. Red Dust, come here. Blood Moon roared, and Red Dust quickly converged with them. Blood Moon's eyes flickered, and he transmitted his voice, when Red Dust comes, kill him quickly. Kill him, and then kill Zhu Shan. Yunhu and the old fox didn't have time to identify anything at this moment. These 2 had informed them long ago. Obviously, they were important spies of the single divine text. Although they felt that killing the Red Dust now, wasn't it a little too early? But since it was said so, then they would just kill. And at this moment, Suyu also moved. When Yunhu and the others stopped fighting, Suyu instantly pounced towards Xia Qing. Just as he made his move, the heavily injured Flying Wolf clan expert suddenly appeared with a divine symbol. With a poochie sound, a huge hole appeared on the chest of the Black Panther clan expert. The Flying Wolf clan expert did not even look at it and quickly pounced towards Suyu. As for Xia Qing and the others, their expressions also changed. They were exposed so quickly. Damn it! The Flying Wolf clan was originally part of their group. There were 5 people who gathered earlier, but they were worried that there were too many people and would attract Suyu's attention, so the Flying Wolf clan youth and the Pegasus youth gathered together. At this moment, since they had made their move, their eyes turned cold. They were not Suyu's match, but they could take down some people. For example, the Pegasus tribe and the Mountain Wildebeest tribe were threatening their elders. As for Suyu, he would leave it to the Tao protector of the Flying Wolves tribe. The Pegasus tribe young man was still in shock. Suyu shouted, "Idiot, they are all traitors. Why aren't they running?" The Pegasus youth couldn't believe it anymore. With a roar, he reverted to his original form and ran. It was too dangerous. As for Xia Qing and the others, they reverted to their original forms and chased after him. On Suyu's side, the Flying Wolf had just charged over when the shadow and water person exploded. A cloud of water mist appeared and enveloped the other party. Within the Flying Wolf's shadow, the shadow exploded. The 3 Ling Yun instantly engaged in battle. Suyu's killing intent boiled, and he no longer opened the remains. He said in a clear voice, "I knew long ago that you people had bad intentions. Xia Qing, you're all dead meat." Before he could chase after them, a sharp roar sounded out in the air. Boom! A huge explosion sounded out in all directions. The Devil Scorpion secular world's body was directly blasted into pieces. He hadn't expected the 4 mountains and seas to suddenly attack him. On the other side, Yu Hong and the others were also stunned. "Idiots, I told you to kill the giant mountain, not Red Dust. Although you still want to kill her later, not now, are you crazy? Why are you killing your allies now? even though she had never treated them as allies. This thought flashed through her mind, and in the next moment, Yu Hong's expression changed. She could no longer maintain her composure, and directly shouted in her original voice, "Be careful of blood. Be careful of Blood Moon and One-Eyed." Something was wrong. Why were these two attacking to kill Hongchen? Before she could even roar, Blood Moon, One-Eyed, and the injured mountain suddenly attacked together. Blood Moon and One-Eyed were too close to Yunhu. The two of them did not attack the old fox and attacked Yunhu together. Blood Moon appeared and Devil Eye flames burned the void. The expression of the Yunhu tribe expert changed drastically. With a roar, they were about to escape. But it was too late. They were his teammates. Although he was on guard, he didn't take them seriously enough. At this time, Zhu Shan also swung his axe. The three experts instantly attacked. The Cloud Tiger tribe's mountain and sea were only at the third level of the mountain and sea realm, so they were no match for them. Boom! The demon eye directly pierced a huge hole in the huge tiger's head. Puchi! The giant mountain chopped off his head with his axe, and the tiger's head fell off. His corpse fell from the sky. The three experts turned their hands and charged toward the old fox. In the blink of an eye, 2 mountains and seas fell. Hong Chen and Yun Hu were instantly killed. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1061. 1061 Chapter 256 Mountain and Sea Fall 5. The three great demons joined forces to kill the old fox. Blood Moon shouted, "Yun Fei, the Divine One faction alone wants to kill all of us. Stop Bull." Yun Fei of the Divine Dragon sect was already stunned by this scene. At this moment, he abandoned Bull and ran without saying a word. It was too complicated. Wasn't Giant Mountain Su Yu's Dao protector? What was the situation with Blood Moon and One-Eyed? Also, when Yun Hu and the old fox killed Hong Chen, it also made him extremely terrified. They couldn't be trusted. Damn it! On the other side, Shui Luosha also roared angrily, "Yu Hong, what are you doing? Are you going to kill them all?" He was also furious. It wasn't over yet, and the two of them had already fallen out. Yu Hong was also extremely sharp. She couldn't care less about her identity being exposed as she shouted, "Idiot, they're Su Yu's people. They're backstabbing." At this moment, she finally understood. Blood Moon and One-Eyed were arranged by Su Yu. Damn it! The other experts were all dazzled by what they saw and were dumbstruck. In the blink of an eye, 2 mountains and seas had died. At this moment, the old fox was in imminent danger. Fortunately, Brute Bull quickly came to help. Blood Raksha also roared, "Yun Fei, don't run. Come back and help them block the opponent. 3 against 2. If Yun Fei didn't run, 3 against 3, he could still turn the tables. He believed what Yu Hong had said, because everything was clear. These 2 bastards had been arranged by Su Yu. Damn it, they had lost 2 mountains and seas. Yun Fei's expression flickered, and he gritted his teeth. He turned around and returned, but didn't dare to get close to the group. Instead, he began to tangle with them on the outside. At this critical juncture, if he ran, he would be more easily targeted. He knew that. There were still arrangements in the outer area. However, at this moment, he did not dare to believe who it was. He wanted to tangle with them first before talking. None of these bastards could be trusted. The death of Hong Chen was too unjust. At this moment, Su Yu looked at Xia Qing and the others and smiled. "Xia Qing, you seem to have suffered a loss." Xia Qing's expression changed drastically. Dead. The clan elder was dead. Damn it. Su Yu, you did it on purpose. Xia Qing shouted angrily. You did it on purpose. You are plotting against us. The young man of the Pegasus tribe who was running also turned around and widened his eyes. Holy sh*t. This human realm warrior was so dangerous. Shan Hai could die just like that. The point was that he didn't know who was his enemy and who was his friend. He was dumbfounded. Who were the good guys? Who were the bad guys? Xia Qing didn't dare to fight with Su Yu. He shouted, "Catch them, quick!" The Pegasus tribe members were their protection. After catching them, the Pegasus and the Mountain Antelope tribe wouldn't dare to mess around anymore. This was their chance to turn the tables. Weaklings, don't think too much. Su Yu's figure flickered. He laughed and slashed the flying iron-winged bird tribe Zhanfei in half. You don't even have a Dao protector. How dare you mess around? Su Yu laughed, and Xia Qing said sharply, "You dare to kill a classmate, Su Yu, you're crazy, you're betraying the human race." Classmate? Su Yu laughed, "It's not up to you. Xia Qing, come, counterattack and kill Bai Su and the others. I'll give you a chance to live." You. She was about to speak when Su Yu slashed at her. At this moment, a figure appeared and a huge beast appeared. Chen Chen. The human student, Chen Chen, who had been silent all this time, suddenly released his own demon beast. It was a demon beast of the 9th level of the soaring heaven realm. Su Yu frowned slightly. A demon beast of the 9th level of the soaring heaven realm? Are you in the soaring heaven realm? He probably couldn't control it without soaring heaven realm. Chen Chen's expression was solemn. The elders have underestimated you. They think that I can take you down, but in my opinion, I'm afraid it will be very difficult for me to take you down. Are you a member of the single divine pros faction? No. Chen Chen was silent for a moment before saying, "I was saved by Elder Zheng. I owe him my life." So your initial goal was to take me down at the crucial moment? Su Yu smiled. He wasn't weak. A Sky Realm Beast Tamer and a Demon Beast of the 9th layer of the Sky Realm were indeed very strong. Based on their previous analysis, it shouldn't be a problem for them to take down Su Yu. At the crucial moment, taking down Su Yu was Chen Chen's mission. You think too much. Su Yu smiled. He couldn't be bothered to waste his breath. Swallowing a drop of the blood essence of a flying Tier 9 Dan, he immediately released the might of a flying Tier 9 Dan. Over 300 acupoints lit up. Slash. Heaven-cleaving blade. This slash was incomparably fierce. The explosive power of the 9th level of the soaring heavens was a heaven-tier top-tier battle technique. Boom! That huge demonic beast was just about to pounce toward Su Yu when it was sliced into two by Su Yu's blade. The blade light did not stop and Chen Chen's expression changed drastically. Just as he was about to say something, a small hammer fell. With a boom, it smashed his sea of consciousness into pieces. Bang! His head exploded. Su Yu was extremely calm. "I don't care who you owe a favor to, I don't owe you anything." Xia Qing and the others were terrified. On the other side, the Flying Wolf clan expert roared, wanting to break through the entanglement between the Water Man and the Shadow. Su Yu smiled and said, "Swan and I, Drill Mountain Ox, go help and kill that guy." As for himself, he continued to move forward. He slashed out with his saber once again, and the saber light flashed horizontally. With a poochie sound, Niuzhen from the barbaric bull tribe was cut into two. In the distance, the barbaric bull tribe expert roared angrily. Su Yu. The old fox was also shocked. Su Yu, let Bai Su go. I'll take Bai Su and leave. Sha Zhanfei and the iron-winged bird tribe members died, but no one made a sound. After killing Xia Qing, the Cloud Tiger tribe members also died, and no one made a sound. But at this moment, the people that Su Yu killed were also Dao protectors. Even the youth from the Pegasus clan couldn't help but turn his head and shout, "Don't kill them," threaten their Tao protectors. Su Yu was really stupid. Why did you kill them? If you killed them, those Tao protectors wouldn't be able to risk their lives. Su Yu smiled and ignored them, once again slashing out with his saber. With a loud rumble, the youth from the Flying Wolf clan who was fleeing was killed on the spot. Xia Qing and Bai Su were extremely terrified. He was too strong. Su Yu wanted to kill them. Bai Su, kill Xia Qing and I'll spare your life. Do you want to bet? Bang! Just as he finished speaking, Bai Su swept his tail towards Xia Qing. With a bang, Xia Qing was sent flying. Su Yu laughed. Looks like you guys aren't that good. Looking at Xia Qing who was flying towards him, Su Yu smiled brightly. We're all good friends. I'll send you on your way. Why bother? With a low shout, a blade light flashed. Pfft. Xia Qing recovered his original form, but his tiger head was still slashed away by his blade, and his body was torn into pieces. The weak should have the awareness of the weak. Su Yu smiled brightly and killed Xia Qing without any fluctuations. Up ahead, Bai Su continued to flee and shouted, "Su Yu, I." Just as he said this, his vision turned black. In the next moment, Su Yu closed in and slashed him in half. Old fox, brute bull, I'm sorry for your loss. Su Yu laughed. If you're dead, you can go all out. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1062. 1062 Chapter 257, Zhan Lingyun, Sun and Moon Appearance, 1. Su Yu. Furious roars sounded one after another. The genius student of the Bull clan was killed, Bai Su of the Fox clan was killed, Xia Qing of the Tiger clan was killed, Zhan Fei of the Iron-Winged Bird clan was killed, and the youth of the Flying Wolf clan was killed. All of them were dead. Including Chen Chen, who was prepared to capture Su Yu with this divine script, he was also swiftly killed by Su Yu. Easy. Powerful. Su Yu, who was in the nature-nurturing realm, was able to rise into the air with such ease. As for the 5 Tao protectors, they had lost the Iron-Winged Bird tribe, the Cloud Tiger tribe, the Wild Bull tribe, and the Fox tribe. The 2 mountains and seas were surrounded and killed by the 3 great demons. Ling Yun of the Flying Wolf tribe was also surrounded and killed by Shui Ren and Shadow. In the blink of an eye, the situation had changed so much that it was shocking. When they had come, they had eliminated Su Yu and the 12 students. Now that Zhou Hao had left, 5 students of the 10,000 races had died, Chen Chen had died, and there were still 5 people left. Ji Xiaomeng, Li Minyu, the young man from the Pegasus tribe, the young man from the Black Panther tribe, and the female goat from the Mountain Antelope tribe. The chaotic battle had begun. Yu Hong and Old Zheng had surrounded Hu Hao, who was sent by Chief Hu. Xia Wen and Xia Wu were fighting against 2 pavilion masters from the 9 Heavens Academy. 3 great demons were dealing with the 3 old foxes, while Old Pegasus and Old Goat were dealing with Blood Raksha. They were evenly matched. At this moment, many large arrays rose from the outside and sealed off the void. The sky was covered in gray. Su Yu easily killed a few people. He looked at the other students and smiled, "Everyone, report your family and reveal your background." Yu Hong and these traitors colluded with some people from the 10,000 clans to kill me. They want to kill the Xia family's Tao protector. What do you say? Ji Xiaomeng said innocently, "I really came to watch the show." Su Yu looked at her and smiled. "Miss Ji, you really came to watch the show?" "Yes." Ji Xiaomeng said aggrievedly, "I don't lie." Su Yu laughed again. "I'll stab you. What do you think?" Ji Xiaomeng had an innocent look on her face. After a while, she saw Su Yu walking towards her. She was a little afraid and pointed at Li Mingyu. Alright, I admit it. I came for her. Li Mingyu remained calm and did not say a word. Ji Xiaomeng saw that Su Yu was still staring at her and walking towards her. She hurriedly said, "It's true. My father said that there should be a sun-moon tear cultivator behind her. It's very likely that it's Lan Tian. That's why he asked me to keep an eye on her. It's true. I'm not lying to you." As she said that, she said miserably, "We're on the same side. Don't kill me. Lan Tian." Su Yu looked at Li Mingyu. At this moment, Li Mingyu's expression changed. In the next moment, she was no longer young. Her temperament changed slightly and she said, "Don't misunderstand. I am just watching the show." Su Yu looked at Ji Xiaomeng and then looked at Li Mingyu. He laughed. Interesting. There was a sun and a moon behind these two. Did Director Ji find traces of Lan Tian? Su Yu said calmly, "Whether it's Blue Sky or Director Ji, the two of you, don't meddle in my affairs. I want to kill an expert from the single divine text department, not you. If you want to cause trouble, do as you please." He was very arrogant. Of course, he had some capital. It wasn't that he didn't have a backer right now. A 9th-level sun-moon expert was waiting nearby, ready to make a move at any time. He wasn't afraid of these two unless they had broken through to the invincible realm. The two of them didn't come in person, but there should be a strand of spiritual sense attached to Ji Xiaomeng and Li Mingyu. Su Yu was surprised, and he asked, "What's your relationship with Li Mingyu?" He asked Lan Tian. Li Mingyu smiled. Student. Student. Su Yu frowned. Li Mingyu had a teacher, and he was an elder of the Shanghai Pavilion. Who was Lan Tian? Or could it be that he had secretly taken in a student? Fine, he couldn't be bothered with it. After sensing for a moment, he realized that it was probably just a divine thought. Killing it would be useless. On the contrary, he had offended the sun and moon. Before the situation stabilized, there was no need to offend him. As for the fact that the other party was the cult master of the incipient devil cult, what did that have to do with him? If the Xia family didn't care, if the Seeker realm didn't care, if the War God Hall didn't care, why would he care? I didn't have the strength to care. If I had the strength, I would kill them all with a single slash. Sure enough, the ones who came along this time all had problems. Of course, there were a few who didn't have problems. For example, the Pegasus clansmen foolishly came here to train and play. Su Yu couldn't be bothered with the two of them anymore. He got little Hairy Ball to keep an eye on them. Then, he quickly looked at the Pegasus clan youth and said, "The three of you, gather together and keep an eye on each other. Be careful that there are still people from the myriad clan sect around." The Pegasus youth looked at him. He was a little afraid as he had yet to recover his human form. F***ck. Killing people was like killing a horse. Xia Qing and the others were killed in an instant. He was really scared. Su Yu shouted coldly, "Hurry up. Do you want to die?" The three of them didn't dare to speak. The little Yu, the little Black Panther, and the little Pegasus gathered together at an extremely fast speed. They were all trembling with fear. That Ling Yun from the Black Panther tribe had been killed by the Flying Wolf tribe's powerhouse. At this moment, this fellow was also trembling and at a loss. "The two of you." Su Yu looked at Ji Xiaomeng and the other two, he smiled and said, "Just stay here and don't run around. Don't think that you're so great just because you have the sun and moon behind you. Whether it's the Blue Sky or Director Ji, this isn't a place for you to behave atrociously. If you're not afraid of death, just come in." Ji Xiaomeng and the other two didn't say anything. However, they didn't move either. They just stayed where they were and didn't move. Meanwhile, Su Yu, who had been watching for a while, shouted, "Waterman, Shadow, hurry up and kill this guy." What are you waiting for? The Waterman and a few other great demons were also fighting with great difficulty at this moment. Their strongest was only at the 7th level of Lingyun. At this moment, facing this 9th level of Lingyun, it wasn't as easy as Su Yu said. The 5 demons were fighting together. The Swan Ni and the Diamond Mountain Ox were beaten out time and time again and were almost killed. They were filled with grief and indignation. Sure enough, nothing good came out of it. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1063. 1063 Chapter 257 Beheading Ling Yun, Sun and Moon Appearance, 2. The moment it appeared, it was a super battle. Even the weakest enemy was at the Ling Yun realm. F***CK. If he had known earlier, he might as well have waited for death in the detention area. The 5 great demons were engaged in a fierce battle. At this moment, no one was shouting anymore. It was useless. The only way was to kill. Su Yu's 2 great demons had killed 2 mountains and seas, causing the situation to suddenly change. They were now evenly matched. Su Yu was not in a hurry. Was there more? He continued to wait. He wanted to wait and see if anyone else would appear. At this moment, Su Yu shouted, "Zhou Pingsheng, you piece of trash, do you still want to hide your dog? Do you not dare to come out? I only wanted to kill you this time. I didn't expect to catch so many big fish." Su Yu laughed heartily. Elder Yu, Elder Li, Elder Qiu, Elder Tang, and Elder Zheng from the great merchant house. What a big show, 5 mountains and seas. I want to know, if word got out that someone ran away today, would the elders still be able to survive? How bold, betraying the human race, betraying the great Xia house, and the 5 elders colluding with the myriad clans to murder their students. How bold. The Xia family already has 3 mountains and seas. I want to see how you will deal with them. There were 5 elders from the Mountain and Sea Pavilion, 3 Mountain and Sea Dao Protectors, 2 Dao Protectors from Ling Yun, and 3 Mountain and Sea Realm Cultivators from the Myriad Clans sect. There were 2 more than before, and they were the 2 from the 9 Heavens Academy. There were a total of 11 Mountain and Sea Realm Cultivators. This time, it was all done in one go. It was enough to make them suffer. "Zhou Pingsheng, come and kill me." "Trash," Su Yu shouted again. At this moment, there was a burst of sounds of killing. Zhou Pingsheng did not have the time to care about Su Yu. When One Eye was proven to be Su Yu's man, he received Yu Hong's order to kill the people that One Eye brought. How could he have the time to care about Su Yu? At this moment, the scattered sect powerhouses that One Eye brought were also depressed. F***CK. This Devil Eye clan member was actually Su Yu's man. There was no use in explaining, only killing. Zhou Pingsheng and the others were not weak. They were all at the Ling Yun realm, a total of 7 to 8 Ling Yun experts. They were dealing with a few Ling Yun experts and some soaring in the air. In addition to the large formation that they had set up previously, the large formation had now risen up and stopped them within. The killing erupted. Blood flowed like a river. And at the outer perimeter, Jin Yuhui appeared. He did not enter the battlefield. Instead, he set up a large formation at the outer perimeter and casually killed those scattered sect powerhouses that had escaped by chance. Kill. Today, not a single one of them could escape. If anyone were to leak out, it would be troublesome. The head of the 9 Heavens Academy. A powerhouse who was half a step away from the sun and moon. Regardless of whether it was Ling Yun or soaring into the sky, they were all killed by a single palm strike in his hands. Not far away, Zhao Mingyue appeared and stared at him without saying a word. Jin Yuhui didn't mind. Zhao Mingyue said coldly, "Aren't you afraid that the Xia family will find out?" Jin Yuhui said calmly, "What did I do? What did I do? I killed the members of the 10,000 races. Tang Yunfei and Qiu Yunhua betrayed me. I came here to hunt them down. Is there a problem? Is there? No. Although I didn't do anything now, I did it to prevent the members of the 10,000 races from escaping. He looked at Zhao Mingyue calmly and indifferently. But you, what are you doing? That was a member of the single divine pros faction. Why did you kill him? Humph. Zhao Mingyue snorted coldly. Jin Yuhui, at this point, you still want to quibble? Quibble? Jin Yuhui laughed. How am I quibbling? Zhao Mingyue, what did I do? I, the Grand Principal of the Nine Heavens Academy, came out to hunt down 2 traitorous pavilion elders. Shouldn't I? You. Zhao Mingyue's bickering couldn't beat his, and she was a little angry. Jin Yuhui didn't make a move. He was only killing those who had escaped. However, who would believe that he was here to capture Tang Yunfei and the others? However, he was half a step into the Sun and Moon realm and was the principal of the Nine Heavens Institute. He had a high position and authority. If he didn't make a move, no one would have any evidence to arrest him. Even Zhu Tiandao wouldn't kill him rashly. Otherwise, the Quest Realm and the War God Hall would pursue him. Unless he made a move himself. Jin Yuhui ignored her. He smiled and continued to lock down the area, ignoring Zhao Mingyue. If you dare to make a move on me, I will kill you. Even if your brother caused a ruckus in the Great Xia Mansion, it would be useless. If you dare to make a move on me, I will naturally kill you. Zhao Mingyue felt aggrieved. Too aggrieved. This bastard. At this moment, she was somewhat impressed by Su Yu. Su Yu had attracted too many experts and had them make a move on him and the Xia family. Therefore, Yu Hong and the others could kill as they pleased. However, Jin Yuhui couldn't do it. This person had come openly. Even if you knew his purpose, you couldn't do anything to him. His strength was also inferior to his. Jin Yuhui smiled and ignored him. He wouldn't enter the arena until the last moment. If he entered the arena, then, not a single one would be spared. After killing all those people, there would naturally be no evidence. Zhao Mingyue snorted coldly and gritted her teeth. Her long spear appeared and was about to fly into the depths to participate in the battle and kill those fellows. Since she couldn't gain anything here, she might as well go and kill them. Just as she moved, an illusory expert suddenly charged over. Zhao Mingyue's long spear trembled and with a rumble, she forced the other party to retreat. She also spat out a mouthful of blood and shouted, Wang Ming. Wang Ming from the Dao Seeking Institute. Back then, she had also attacked them at number 18 high school. She knew the other party. Wang Ming did not say a word, nor did he admit or deny it. He quickly attacked, and sword chi filled the air. A divine word with the word sword was incomparably powerful. It was even stronger than the day before, and Zhao Mingyue was forced to continuously retreat. Jin Yuhui smiled and suddenly said, Su Yu colluded with the demon race and massacred an ally of the human race, the Cloud Tiger clan, and the mountains and seas. He massacred many students and committed an unpardonable crime. Xia family members, do you want to protect Su Yu? You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1064 1064 Chapter 257, Zhan Lingyun, Sun and Moon Appearance, 3. Hu Hao, who was being beaten up by Yu Hong and Elder Zheng, suddenly cursed angrily, Jin Yuhui, bullshit. Yun Hu and the others have already betrayed. Which eye of yours saw them betray? Jin Yuhui said coldly, I only saw that they killed an expert from the Devil Scorpion sect, a hero from the Myriad Clan sect. Su Yu's few great demons killed him. Hu Hao, seeing is believing. Are you blind? Hu Hao was furious. He knew that he was spouting nonsense, but he could not refute it at this moment. Yunhu and the others had yet to make a move on Su Yu. And this was from the Myriad clan. If this was a human, such as Jin Yuhui, who could do anything to him if he did not make a move on a human? Even if they knew that he had impure thoughts. Principal Jin. On the other side, Xia Wen shouted, "Since you want to capture the traitor, why don't you come and kill these two? Didn't you want to capture the traitors? Kill them." Jin Yuhui said indifferently, "The situation is unclear. I have to prevent anyone from escaping." "Wait. Wait." At this moment, his radiance was boundless, suppressing the entire scene. Yu Hong and the others were getting more and more excited. Jin Yuhui was here. Although he didn't make a move, his aura suppressed the other party. It was a sure win. At the critical moment, Jin Yuhui would definitely make a move. A moment later, Zhou Pingsheng and the others finished killing those scattered cult experts. Zhou Pingsheng did not hide anymore and said loudly, "Chief Jin, we have already killed the disciples of the 10,000 races. Remember the merit. We will reward you when we return to the Great Xia Manor." Jin Yuhui said indifferently, "Su Yu ordered the Great Demon to slaughter the Alliance clan. The situation is unclear now. Go and capture Su Yu. Send him back to the Great Xia Manor to confront him. Don't hurt his life." He said it in a dignified manner. "Don't kill Su Yu. I just don't know the situation. I only saw you killing students. Now, I'm sending people to capture you." In the distance, Su Yu sneered, "Scum of the Go camp. Jin Yuhui, if you had directly attacked, I would have looked up to you. At least you have the appearance of a mansion master. You have the bearing of a half-step sun and moon. Now, disgusting." Jin Yuhui was not moved at all. No matter how talented he was, he would not care too much. "You can scold me however you want. It doesn't matter. Soon, you will be dead. If Su Yu resists, kill him without mercy." Jin Yuhui said softly again. Zhou Mingren and the 6 Lingyun realm cultivators flew toward Su Yu without any nonsense. These people were all Lingyun realm cultivators from the various universities. At this moment, someone secretly wanted to help. Su Yu did not know the situation and did not care about that. He did not want Zhu Tiandao to make a move at this moment, he roared, just in time. "I'll kill all these useless people. Let's see if you, Jin Yuhui, will make a move." This situation was what he wanted. The only thing he didn't expect was that Jin Yuhui didn't make a move directly. This didn't meet his expectations. This was a big fish. It was enough. Catching Jin Yuhui was much more important than Yu Hong and the rest. Outside, Zhu Tiandao was stunned for a moment. He understood Su Yu's meaning. He wanted to settle it himself. "Stop fooling around. You're the only one with a good temperament. There are 7 Lingyun, 3 of them are at the 7th level of Lingyun, and the rest are all at the intermediate stage of the early stage. You still want to wait? Aren't you afraid that you'll kill yourself?" At this moment, Yu Hong and the others could be killed. Only Jin Yuhui wasn't easy to kill. However, from Zhu Tiandao's point of view, it was about time to close the net. Su Yu didn't care about anyone. At this moment, he soared into the sky and soared straight into the sky. "Today, I'll kill Ling Yun for all of you to see. I'm already able to kill Ling Yun. How can you big shots endure such a threat? The stronger he is, the greater the threat to the Divine Pros faction. If I can kill Ling Yun now, who can endure it? Not even a half-step Sun and Moon faction. Not even the Sun and Moon faction can endure it. If I don't kill such a monster now, how long will I have to wait?" As for Su Yu, he is using himself as a stake. Of course, he must have enough trust in Zhu Tiandao and the Zhu family. If the Zhu family is afraid, today, he is completely finished. He is not capable of dealing with a half-step Sun and Moon faction. With the long saber in hand, Su Yu's aura became stronger and stronger. Faintly, it could also be comparable to the 9th level of the soaring heavens realm. Zhou Pingxing frowned slightly. So what if it was comparable to the 9th level of the soaring heavens realm? Do you think you can kill us? The distance between the two parties was getting closer and closer. At this moment, Su Yu's aura was flourishing. In the next moment, a wave of Ling Yun aura erupted. Kill! An explosive shout, mixed with a powerful Yuan Qi attack, shook the surroundings. Su Yu's body whistled past like the wind. The long saber appeared, and lightning flashed in all directions as it slashed out. Trash! Puchi! Su Yu tore through the air as he panted. His body was torn apart by the powerful Yuan Qi, and blood flowed out. In the air, one of the 7 Ling Yun realm cultivators who were surrounding him looked at him with confusion in his eyes. With a bang, his body exploded. He was dead. The surroundings suddenly stopped. Even though 2 Ling Yun realm cultivators had died, this didn't happen. Kill! Ling Yun. He killed 1 Ling Yun realm cultivator with a single strike. No, it wasn't cultivation, it was the explosive power of the Ling Yun realm. Innate blood essence. At this moment, someone thought of it and was extremely shocked. Yu Hong was also extremely shocked. Jin Yuhui, who was at the periphery, narrowed his eyes. Innate blood essence of the Ling Yun realm. How was that possible? In the outer area, Zhu Tiandao swallowed his saliva and looked at Director Ho. Have you seen Ling Yun realm's innate blood essence? No. Director Ho was also dumbfounded. F***CK. If Su Yu had brought him to Daming Mansion, would the Great Xia Mansion have invaded Daming Mansion? Killing Ling Yun with his temper. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1065. 1065 Chapter 257 Beheading Ling Yun, Sun and Moon, 4. If he could obtain tens of thousands of drops of blood essence, wouldn't that mean that an army could be used as an army of 10,000 Ling Yun soldiers? This could kill the Sun and Moon. F***CK. To make an army capable of killing the Sun and Moon, how amazing would that be? Of course, they could also see that the burden was huge. Even Su Yu, who was at the 9th level of the 10,000 stone realm, could not hold on, but he could definitely hold on in the air. Were there any mountain and sea realm cultivators who were at the Ling Yun realm? Were there any mountain and sea realm cultivators or Sun and Moon realm cultivators? F***CK. Director Ho's eyes were bright as he looked at Zhu Tian and said, Mansion Master, you must accept them. You can even marry your daughter. Didn't they say that they had only managed to obtain 10,000 stone blood essence from the research of the additional divine literature? Why was there Ling Yun blood essence? If the Great Xia Mansion knew about this, they would not let Su Yu leave even if they died. This kind of research was enough to change a huge battle. It could even create a legend that could kill the Sun and Moon in the sky. Of course, it would require a lot of sky and blood essence. 10,000 sky warriors had all become Ling Yun. Could he kill the Sun and Moon? Perhaps he could. It was too terrifying. Everyone knew that he had a talent in the divine literature. However, no one knew that he had researched to such an extent. Everyone was shocked. Su Yu did not care about this and smiled. At this moment, he was extremely fast as he looked at Zhou Pingxing and the others. He sneered and said, You really treat me like a soft persimmon. Zhou Pingxing, when I killed Jai Feng, I said that I would kill you personally. Today, you wait for me to kill you. After saying that, his body trembled. He disappeared instantly. Zhou Pingxing's heart turned cold when he saw this. He shouted, Gather together. Quick. He had to be quick. Damn it, what was this? Su Yu had revealed some things when he killed people the last time. This time, he was even more terrifying. Su Yu, who was at the Lingyun realm, was even more terrifying. Just as he finished speaking, a gust of wind blew across the sky. In the wind, Su Yu instantly recovered his physical body. In front of him, a Lingyun expert roared furiously. Divine runes appeared and were about to suppress Su Yu when a small hairy ball appeared and bit towards the divine runes. The small hairy ball wasn't Lingyun. If it was, it would have silently devoured the divine runes. But now, it was still a little lacking. The divine runes instantly appeared in the air. Then, with a crunch, half of the divine runes were bitten off by the small hairy ball. With a bang, the divine runes exploded and the small hairy ball was sent flying. It had no way to devour the divine runes, so it could only bite forcefully. The divine runes exploded, and the opponent's body shook. Su Yu slashed out with his saber, and with a poochie sound, his head fell to the ground. The second Lingyun. At this moment, a divine rune appeared behind him. It belonged to Zhou Pingsheng, but in the next moment, Zhou Pingsheng quickly retracted the divine rune, and his eyes revealed a look of shock. What was this? The divine rune had been crushed. The divine rune was between illusions. Unless the opponent was too strong and was crushed, it was impossible for it to be crushed. However, now that it had been crushed by a little thing, he was so frightened that he withdrew the divine rune. He was dead. In the blink of an eye, Su Yu killed the second Lingyun. The remaining 5 people gathered together. As for Su Yu, his face was pale. The small fur ball jumped onto his head once again and disappeared into the void. Lingyun, so weak. Su Yu smiled as a large amount of blood essence suddenly appeared in his hand. Today, I'll let all of you see how amazing my divine runes talent blood essence is. Devour. The blood essence entered his stomach. Su Yu instantly disappeared on the spot. In the distance, Jin Yuhui's eyes flashed with a divine light, and he shouted, "Behind!" Boom! Zhou Pingsheng exploded toward a divine literature behind him, but he was bitten by it with a creak, and it was extremely painful. Bastard! At this moment, Su Yu was about the same as the transparent person, and his figure slightly appeared. He smiled and disappeared in an instant. His voice reverberated, "Mansion Master Jin is very knowledgeable. I would like to see how many innate skills you can see." Jin Yuhui's eyes flashed as he instantly saw through Su Yu. At this moment, Su Yu was actually a clone. Be careful, a clone. He reminded once again, the true body on the left. Pfft. The other 5 Lingyun couldn't see Su Yu at all. They were a little scared. At this moment, one of the people on the left quickly swung his blade. With a bang, Su Yu was pushed back. However, another Su Yu appeared on the right. With a slash, with a bang, one of his arms was cut off. In all directions, at this moment, even the Mountain Sea Realm cultivators weren't in the mood to fight. They were all dumbfounded. 1 person against 7 Lingyun. This wasn't the main point. The main point was that Su Yu had too many tricks up his sleeves. Invisibility, cloning, wind transformation, water transformation, air escape, earth escape. In this short period of time, Su Yu had revealed 7 to 8 different innate skills. F***CK. If he met someone of the same level on the battlefield, it was obvious that he would be killed. This was the effect of his innate skill blood essence. This was too terrifying. Not only were the mountains and seas stunned, even Jin Yuhui and Zhu Tiandao were stunned. How could this be possible? Did I make a huge profit? Of course, the prerequisite was that Su Yu could bring this technique to the Daming Manor and was willing to create the blood essence for the Daming Manor. Sun and Moon blood essence. If I were given 100 types of Sun and Moon blood essence, I would be invincible. Zhu Tiandao muttered, "No, give me invincible blood essence." I'll get invincible blood essence and let this old man do it. You give me 100 drops of invincible blood essence talent skill. When I encounter invincible, I might even kill you. This is too terrifying. There are no restrictions. Any blood essence talent skill can be used. Isn't this terrifying enough? This is the essence of all the races. Zhou Pingsheng and the others were aggrieved. They didn't dare to use the divine language carelessly. They didn't dare to use the divine language carelessly. To them, that was the greatest restriction. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1066. 1066 Chapter 257 Beheading Ling Yun, Sun and Moon Appearance, 5. That little furball, with a single bite, the divine text would be shattered. The most powerful person in a civilized master's battle was a divine scribe. If one couldn't use divine text as a divine scribe, was he still a divine scribe? He was a target. Without the divine text, he could only use it in his sea of consciousness, and his strength would be reduced by 30%. The key point was that Su Yu was elusive. At this moment, there was no way to catch any trace of Su Yu. If not for Jin Yuhui's repeated warnings, they would probably only be left with 2 late-stage Ling Yun cultivators. Jin Yuhui's expression changed. In the distance, Yu Hong's expression also changed. He shouted, "Kill him! Mansion Master Jin, make your move and kill him." If Su Yu didn't die, this day would really change. Today, he could even kill Ling Yun. After some time, he would even enter the ruins and become stronger. Wouldn't he be able to kill mountains and seas? Fear. Fear towards monsters. As for Su Yu, he was still appearing and disappearing like a ghost. He kept appearing and slashing down. Again and again. He was laughing crazily. "Make your move. I'm just waiting for you, Jin Yuhui. I want to catch a big fish. Can Zhu Tiandao eat it? He should be able to eat it before the sun and moon, right?" Revealing his talent, revealing his blood essence, and killing Ling Yun. The ruins have already appeared. Why aren't you making a move? When I get stronger, will you have a chance to survive? At this moment, Yu Hong went crazy. With a furious roar and a loud rumble, a divine symbol exploded. With a loud bang, Hu Hao's body was blasted into a bloody mess by her divine symbol. Elder Zheng's giant beast divine symbol also exploded instantly. With another loud bang, Hu Hao's body was torn into pieces. While he was torn into pieces, he could not help but feel a little sad. Damn, Su Yu was right. I really can't hold on. If I had known earlier, I would have believed you. It was too miserable. At this moment, a sword ray shot toward Zhou Pingsheng and the others. Just as Zhou Pingsheng was about to defeat this sword ray, Jin Yuhui shouted, "Retreat." That was the divine talisman sword ray. It was not Su Yu who made a move. Su Yu had obtained this godly talisman from Zhai Feng. Today, it was used as a feint. Zhou Pingsheng retreated quickly. With a PFFT sound, a person beside him was suddenly cut off by Su Yu. Su Yu frowned, disappeared quickly, and retreated. Jin Yuhui. This bastard was half a step away from the sun and moon after all. He could see clearly that Su Yu could not hide from him. If it were not for Jin Yuhui, he would have killed all the people below the 7th stage long ago. And up until now, he had only killed 3 Lingyun realm cultivators. Jin Yuhui quickly said, "Idiot, form a formation and seal the area. Not a single drop of water can leak out." The 4 Lingyun realm cultivators quickly formed a formation. "Seal the area." Su Yu crashed into the barrier in an instant. The few of them attacked at the same time, but Su Yu had already disappeared. In the next moment, he reappeared 100 meters away. His face was pale and he grinned. On the other side, Yu Hong and Old Zheng had destroyed Hu Hao's physical body. Just as they were about to continue attacking, destroying his willpower and shattering his sea of will, Xia Wen let out a furious roar, and a huge boom rang out once more. Tang Yunfei's physical body was instantly destroyed by him. Xia Wen's face was pale, and he quickly left the battlefield and charged toward Yu Hong and the others. In the distance, Hu Hao quickly began to recover his physical body. Shanghai realm civilized masters had broken bodies, and most of them wouldn't die directly. They could forcefully merge their bodies together. As for warriors, they had a high chance of dying directly. This was the power of civilized masters. Hu Hao's body recovered, but he was extremely weak. Seeing Xia Wen come to his aid, he laughed bitterly. "It's over, my body is destroyed. I regret it." If he had known earlier that he would trust Su Yu, he would have brought a few friends with him. F***ck. His body was ruined. There was no hope for the sun or the moon. Just fix it again. Xia Wen roared in anger. What was he screaming for? Just fix it again. He had started from Qianjun, and now he still had the acupoint fusion technique, so it wasn't that difficult. It would take him decades to fix it, but it was still nothing. Yu Hong and Old Zheng both roared in anger. They had just paid a huge price, but in the end, they still couldn't kill Hu Hao. That trash, Tang Yunfei, had actually been destroyed by Xia Wen. As for Xia Wen, he was also at the 7th layer of the mountain and sea realm. At this moment, he was fighting them alone. Both sides were heavily injured, so they were evenly matched. And at this moment, a miserable cry sounded out. Puchi. Su Yu suddenly disappeared. This time, he did not attack Zhou Pingsheng and the others, but the experts of the Flying Wolf clan who were being surrounded. The 4 great demon beasts were surrounding the Flying Wolf. Su Yu suddenly joined in, and the little furball bit down on a divine text. Su Yu's Yuan Qi burst out, and the strength of the Lingyun realm was undoubtedly displayed. With a single slash, he cut off the waist of the wolf. The other 4 demonic beasts took advantage of his illness to take his life. Almost in an instant, the shadow pierced through the Flying Wolf's head, and the Aquaman sucked all the blood. The Swan Knee's claw broke his claw, and the Diamond Mountain Ox also stomped down with its hooves. With all their attacks, in the blink of an eye, the Flying Wolf clan's 9th level Ling Yun was surrounded and killed. Su Yu panted as he looked at Zhou Pingsheng and the others over there. He smiled and said, 5 against 4, US 5, U 4. Isn't this fun? I have more people. Although the Swan Ni and the Diamond Mountain Ox were very weak, they were only at the 9th level of the Soaring Heaven realm. 2 against 1. Zhou Pingsheng did not speak. His face was gloomy. Su Yu was too difficult to deal with. He could not find or kill him. His strength was at the Lingyun realm, and so was Su Yu. If the difference was not big, it would be difficult for him to even capture Su Yu's whereabouts. Su Yu had grown to such a stage. Even if it was caused by his innate blood essence, the other party had it and he did not. This was the difference. The battles were still going on. On Su Yu's side, he was actually at a disadvantage. Blood Raksha was already beating Pegasus and the old mountain antelope until they bled non-stop. If this continued, Blood Raksha could win. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1067. 1067 Chapter 257, Zhan Lingyun, Sun and Moon Appearance, 6. On Yu Hong's side, Yu Hong's strength was indeed strong. He and Old Zheng worked together to kill Xia Wen, causing him to bleed continuously. Hu Hao recovered his weak physical body and ran to look for Tang Yunfei, whose physical body had also been destroyed. The two of them fought through the air with willpower. Tang Yunfei was not weak either. That day, when he fought with Wu Yuehua, he was finally poisoned away by Wu Yuehua. Wu Yuehua was at the peak of the 8th level of the Mountain Sea realm, and she could only rely on poison. This showed how strong the other party was. A 7th level Mountain and Sea realm divine literature master was already stronger than those divine alchemists. It was a pity that Xia Wen was also strong. He was not strong enough to protect Xia Huyo, so his body was destroyed. At this moment, the battle with Hu Hao, whose body was also destroyed, was evenly matched. Once the Blood Rakshasa side won, the entire battle situation would change. Not to mention, there was also Jin Yuhui, who had not made a move. In the outer ring, Zhao Mingyue and Wang Ming from Dao Seeking Academy had also fought to their heart's content. Blood splattered everywhere, but they were still unable to take down their opponent. The battle continued to erupt. And everyone's focus was on Su Yu. They were all ruins. The blood essence creation technique, the fusion technique, the soul devouring technique, and the basic text technique. At this moment, those sharp-eyed powerhouses could see that Su Yu had opened his divine aperture. There were many of them, and there were even more than 36 of them. Otherwise, if his willpower wasn't strong enough, it would be difficult for him to hide from those Ling Yun even if he had the innate blood essence. However, Su Yu had done it. This meant that the strength of his willpower was probably comparable to those who were soaring in the sky. It would be difficult for him to feel at ease if such a monster didn't die. Mansion Master Jean, what are you waiting for? Yu Hong roared furiously once again. He wanted to kill all of these people so that there wouldn't be any more problems. Didn't he understand this? What are you waiting for? At this point, do you think you can still escape? Jin Yuhui ignored her. He looked around and said coldly, which friend is in the dark? I've sensed it for a long time. Friend or foe, why don't you come out and have a chat? He couldn't be bothered with this idiot Yu Hong. Do you think I won't make a move if I'm confident? It's because I'm not confident that I don't dare to make a move. There was someone else in the dark. Very strong. A sense of crisis that came from his half-step Sun-Moon realm. Long time no see, Chief Jean. At this moment, a rough man appeared and laughed. So it's you. Jin Yuhui sighed. Why bother? Decades ago, you had already gone to a faraway place. Now that you have a place in the Great Zhou Manor, why do you still want to participate in the Great Xia Manor's competition? The rough man laughed, I have no choice. That junior brother of mine sent me a message. If he doesn't come back, he will expel me from under Master's tutelage. After saying that, he looked at Su Yu in the distance and sighed, genius. You actually don't want to be under my junior brother's tutelage. What a pity. No wonder junior brother wants me to save your life. Su Yu was stunned for a moment. In the next moment, he said uncertainly, you are Zhao Tianbing. Kid, it's not good to call me by my name, right? Su Yu was embarrassed, but he still could not hide his shock. The head of the Great Zhou Blacksmith School. The eldest disciple of the 4th generation. A powerful figure in the blacksmith school. Several decades ago, he rushed to the Great Zhou Manor and stirred up a storm in the Great Zhou Manor for several decades. In the end, he became a distinguished guest of the Great Zhou Manor and became the head of the blacksmith school. He was a true big shot. His status was even higher than Jin Yuhui of the Great Xia Manor. This was because he was able to forge Earth-rank literary soldiers. This was because he was a big shot of the weapon forging department and a big shot who had entered the Sun-Moon realm. Such a big shot was also the reason why Zhao Li was so arrogant. The 4th generation inheritance was not broken. Although the Great Xia Manor was weak, in the Great Zhou Manor, his senior brother was a big shot. And now, he was actually here. Su Yu's emotions surged, and he suddenly didn't know what to say. It turned out that teacher Zhao already knew. Otherwise, his senior brother wouldn't have rushed over from the Great Zhou Manor so quickly. Zhao Tianbing. At this moment, the boorish Zhao Tianbing smiled and said, "I've watched a good show. The Great Xia Manor is really chaotic. It's even more chaotic than the Great Zhou Manor. However, it's more or less the same. Big brother won't talk about second brother. Sigh, this fellow who wants to verify the Tao is really troublesome. This Great Ming Manor doesn't want to verify the Tao. It's so quiet. Even if you break your head, Zhu Tiandao won't care about you." He sighed. The Great Zhou Manor was actually chaotic as well. He was still a bit better. He was an important person who forged weapons. Otherwise, he would have been in trouble in the Great Zhou Manor. But now, when he arrived at the Great Xia Manor, he realized that the Great Zhou Manor seemed to be a bit better. It hadn't reached this stage yet. They were all crazy. Dozens of mountains and seas were fighting here, and even Jin Yuhui, who was half a step away from the sun and moon, had come out. This was the manor head of a great academy. Jin Yuhui's eyes flickered. "You've only entered the sun and moon for a few years, and you want to get involved? I've already come, so are you willing to give me the chance to leave?" Zhao Tianbing smiled. "However, can you stop me? Divine riders are strong, but my weapon forging element isn't weak either." After saying that, Zhao Tianbing smiled and said, "How about this, I'll take Su Yu and leave. You guys fight yours, I don't care." "How about it?" No one said anything. Su Yu was the key. If you want to take him away, you must be joking. No one could leave today. Letting one go would be a huge disaster. At this point, the number of experts that had appeared had reached 24, and there were 23 Mountain Sea Realm experts. One of them was half a step into the sun and moon, and the other was Zhao Tianbing, the true sun and moon. At this moment, the starry sky mountain was surrounded by a huge formation, and the inside was already turning upside down. The demi-human race, the religion of 10,000 clans, the single divine text sect, the Tao protector of the Xia clan, the Tao protector of Suyu, Feng Qi called by Chen Yong, Zhao Tianbing called by Zhao Li, and Zhao Mingyue followed. Experts were everywhere. Pegasus and the others were stupefied. Even the weak Black Panther clan couldn't muster so many experts. The sun and moon appeared, and a large number of mountains and seas were engaged in battle. If this were the heavenly battlefield, it would be a war of extermination. Zhao Tianbing looked at Jin Yuhui and smiled. "If you don't agree, then I'll take action. After all, we're all traitors, so killing one is one. Old Jin, you won't stop me, right?" Jin Yuhui's eyes flickered, and a moment later, his aura changed slightly. "Zhao Tianbing, there are some things that you have to think twice about." In the next moment, his aura changed. He sighed. The multi-divine text element is very powerful. The divine text fusion element is still very powerful. Boom! A sun and moon rose. In his eyes, the sun and moon rotated. Jin Yuhui was at the sun and moon realm. Jin Yuhui of the Nine Heavens Academy was the first human realm expert to step into the fusion-type divine text element. He was one of the founders of the fusion-type divine text element. In the past, he had stolen the fruits of the multi-divine text element. In the fusion-type divine text element, he had already walked a very long way in the fusion-type divine text. It wasn't difficult for others to break through. He was the weakened version of the fusion-type divine text. 8 divine texts had become a system, breaking through the restraining power of the divine demon divine text. At this moment, Jin Yuhui advanced to the sun-moon realm. Zhao Tianbing's expression changed. F***CK. He might not be a match for Jin Yuhui. A blacksmith might not be able to beat a professional fighter. He wasn't Zhao Li, so he didn't know how to use the divine amplification technique. His endurance could only be said to be average. He didn't have much of an advantage in the same cultivation level. After entering the sun and moon for so many years, he had only just entered the sun and moon. At this moment, everyone's gaze turned to the two of them. Sun and moon versus sun and moon. This battle had already involved two sun and moon realm cultivators. Su Yu's expression was also solemn. Zhu Tiandao was still not easy to kill. Jin Yuhui was a cunning old fox who refused to take the initiative to attack. Now that he had become the sun and moon, Zhu Tiandao couldn't kill him easily. On the outer perimeter, Zhu Tiandao was also speechless. Enough. Two suns and moons had arrived. I thought that a few mountains and seas would be enough. Now, it was really troublesome. Manor Head, should we attack now? Director Ho asked. Zhu Tiandao pondered for a moment, then gritted his teeth, wait a bit more. Continue fishing. Jin Yuhui can't kill Zhao Tianbing. Zhao Tianbing has appeared. If we don't kill him, the news will leak out. They will all die. Let's wait for them to ask for help. Let's see who will come again. We are just waiting for you to ask for help. Let's see if we can still ask for one sun and moon. Only with two sun and moon can we have the confidence to kill the other. This is usually the case when the levels are about the same. Perhaps we can still fish one out this time. Exciting. Zhu Tiandao rubbed his palms together. I'm going all out. I'll play big with you guys. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1068. 1068 Chapter 258, Beheading Zhou Pingxing 1. Two suns and moons facing off. Su Yu didn't care about this. At this moment, he had the confidence. If he didn't enter the 9th level of the sun and moon, he didn't care whether Jin Yuhui had broken through or not. At this moment, Su Yu laughed. With contempt, he walked to the stone wall once again. Turning his head to look at those people, he said coldly, when I come out this time and enter Lingyun Mountain and Sea, none of you will be able to live. That was how arrogant he was. He could kill Lingyun if he wanted to. When he entered the Lingyun Mountains and Seas, he would naturally be able to kill those of a higher level. Open. With a low shout, the divine runes trembled, blood flowed, and the stone walls shook violently. That movement made it seem as if Su Yu was about to enter the ruins in the next moment. At this moment, Su Yu's body was faintly discernible. It was as if he was about to disappear from this world and enter the next. Senior Uncle Zhao, please buy me 3 minutes. Su Yu shouted in a low voice, and Zhao Tianbing laughed out loud. All right. His heart was also filled with surprise. Was he going to enter the ruins? Entering the ruins, this kid could enter the Lingyun Mountains and Seas. It was very possible. The ruins were a place that gave birth to invincibility. So what if he entered the Lingyun Mountains and Seas? If this kid really entered the mountains and seas, he might really be able to fight the sun and the moon. Terrifying, too terrifying. Even he, a member of his own, felt the same way, let alone the others. At this moment, Jin Yuhui's expression changed again and again. He shouted, Zhou Pingxing, kill him. Trash. Su Yu had killed 3 of the group of Lingyun. Now, none of them dared to get close to him. Were they going to let him enter? If Su Yu really entered, they would all be finished. If Su Yu really entered the mountains and seas, then he could turn the tables. If the current Su Yu was so difficult to deal with, what would he do when he reached the mountain sea? Moreover, if he didn't kill all these people this time, the matter would blow up. With evidence, the Xia family would definitely make a move. As for him, he wanted to move a few times, but he was locked onto by Zhao Tianbing. Su Yu felt helpless in his heart. He had no choice but to repeat in his mind, Martial Uncle Zhao Tianbing, get him to publish a book. Get him to make a move. What? I'm doing it for him. If he doesn't do it, it won't be easy for old Zhu to kill someone. Get him to do it. The sun and moon could sense something, but Zhao Tianbing didn't seem to be able to sense it. Perhaps there were too many experts here, and the qi flow was chaotic, causing the effect of the sensing to be bad. Su Yu was also helpless. 3 minutes, give me 3 minutes, and I won't be able to open the ruins. That would be awkward. Where in the hell did these ruins come from? He could finally see that this stone wall was a layer of defensive barrier. It was probably created by Sect Master Tianyi. It would be very difficult to open it, but with the strength of the mountains and seas, it would definitely be able to open it. This martial Uncle Zhao, why don't you give him a chance to make a move? Trash like Zhou Pingsheng, come and stop them. Even though Su Yu wished that they would immediately make a move. He shouted, seniors, please hold on for a little longer. When I enter the ruins, everyone will retreat. I want to see if they have the ability to kill all of them. As long as I don't die, I will record everything today. When I come out of seclusion, none of these people will be able to escape. Once these words were said, those experts also went all out. Hold on for 3 minutes. Once Su Yu entered, they ran and scattered. Although they weren't completely at a disadvantage at the moment, if this battle continued, they would be in danger of being defeated. Old Pegasus couldn't hold on any longer and roared, bring our prince along, my young friend, bring our prince along. This old man can die in battle here and not let this myriad clan sect bastard take a step forward. The old Pegasus was prepared to fight to the death. However, this was on the premise that the young prince was fine. The old goat also roared, my young friend, please bring our princess along. The mountain wildebeest race is willing to fight to the death for the human race. They are willing to fight to the death for the great Xia mansion. Su Yu roared, all right. 3 students from the Myriad clan, come with me. Seniors, if you can escape today, Su Yu will definitely repay you generously the next day. The Pegasus had a sorrowful look on his face. He looked at the clan elder who was fighting in the sky and turned into a horse, neighing at the sky. So miserable. The clan elder was about to be beaten to death. Weren't they supposed to go sightseeing? How come there were so many powerful warriors all of a sudden? The 3 students of the myriad races quickly approached Su Yu. On the other side, Yu Hong shrieked, trash, Zhou Pingsheng, go up and capture Su Yu and those guys. Idiots. Taking down a few students and threatening the Pegasus tribe and the Mountain Antelope tribe, wouldn't that do? Su Yu shouted, Shui Ren, go, kill them. If you guys don't come, I'll get someone to take the initiative to go. Shui Ren and Shadow didn't waste any more words and instantly disappeared into the void. The void surged and the huge waves attacked. Countless water droplets fell down and charged towards the 4 Ling Yun. The shadow instantly disappeared on the spot. The mountain ox also burrowed into the ground and disappeared in the blink of an eye. The swan and I looked left and right, feeling a little guilty. It seemed like it was a good for nothing. It was only at the 9th layer of the sky. It did not have any special abilities. In this godforsaken place, it was almost impossible to defeat one person. Previously, it was still in the air, but now that it was all dead, if it was in the air, then it really could not defeat one person. Su Yu did not care about that and continued to open the stone wall. The stone wall shook violently. On top of the mountain, huge boulders fell one after another. The commotion wasn't small. Zhou Pingsheng and the others couldn't hold it in any longer. If Su Yu really entered, then they would be in big trouble. Kill! Zhou Pingsheng shouted in a low voice. At this juncture, they could only fight with their lives on the line. The few Ling Yuns instantly charged towards them. Rumble. Loud sounds rang out one after another. Not long after, Zhou Pingsheng's attack had knocked the shadow out of its original form. With a bang, it crashed onto the ground, and the shadow showed signs of dissipating. The waterman also took the opportunity to engulf a person. In the blink of an eye, the other party was sucked dry, and all the water was sucked in. You're tuning into the Han Lee's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1069. 1069 Chapter 258, Beheading Zhou Pingxing 2. The mountain ox leaped up from the ground, and the swan and I roared. Above its head, a flash of lightning exploded with a boom. The swan and I and the mountain ox attacked Ling Yun at the same time. Zhou Pingxing didn't care about that. At this moment, he gritted his teeth and charged towards Su Yu. A few dozen meters away from Su Yu, he didn't move forward anymore. With a roar, a shadow condensed in front of him. It was also a clone. He had the clone divine prose. The clone's strength was also extremely powerful. At this moment it was rapidly charging towards Su Yu. The little hairy ball was just about to go forward to bite when it missed. Zhou Pingxing's yuan qi exploded. With a boom, the little hairy ball was instantly sent flying. Its shadow clone was also instantly blasted apart. Humph. At this moment, Zhou Pingxing snorted coldly. He could already tell that this little hairy ball could only damage the divine prose and willpower. Yuan Qi could deal with it. Although the other party was nowhere to be seen, his strength was not enough. It was still not enough to deal with him, a 7th level Ling Yun. Go to hell. As he finished speaking, a divine talisman appeared in his hand. It was extremely powerful. He did not need to capture Su Yu alive. He also could not obtain the ruins. His goal was to kill Su Yu. Therefore, at this moment, he completely did not care whether Su Yu would be killed. It was best if he died. The divine talisman instantly exploded. At this moment, the power of the mountains and seas erupted. This was a mountain and sea realm divine talisman. Zhou Pingxing's face instantly turned pale. His willpower had been sucked dry, and his face was extremely pale. In the air, a small sword instantly formed into a line. With a shrill sound, it broke through the void and charged towards Su Yu. Su Yu was shocked. So powerful. Mountain and sea strike. Divine talisman. F***ck. Zhou Pingxing, this bastard, was so cowardly. He even brought a mountain and sea divine talisman. Su Yu quickly turned into a gale, but the small sword still locked onto him and headed straight for his sea of consciousness. Zhou Pingxing sneered. No matter how strong he was, could he withstand the might of the mountain and sea? As for the two Ling Yun behind him, they were currently being surrounded by Shui Ren and Swan and I. He couldn't care less. If they died, then they died. It was enough for him to kill Su Yu. As for Su Yu, he continued to transform into various forms. Clone, invisibility, earth escape, wind transformation. None of them worked. That small sword locked onto his sea of consciousness. At this moment, Su Yu could only stop and open the stone wall. He continued to escape, but it was still difficult for him to escape. He had many methods, but at this moment, he had no way to escape from this locked state. Zhu Tiandao was ready to make a move. It was time to make his move. Su Yu, this punk, could not hold on any longer. He had to make his move. Just as he was thinking, he was slightly taken aback as he instantly stopped his preparations to save the person. At the same time, Su Yu gritted his teeth as he looked at the small sword that was rapidly chasing after him. This was a divine technique, divine talisman, an existence that could destroy one's sea of will. This thing was countless times more expensive than Yuan Qi martial techniques. With just this divine talisman, without 10,000 to 20,000 merit points, don't even think about it. Do you think that this can do anything to me? Su Yu roared furiously, dream on. At the next moment, the 108 divine apertures began to flash as they fused with the cultivation technique. The 3 sets of cultivation techniques instantly began to fuse. The 108 apertures were originally separated. They were divided into 3 cycles. And at this moment, 108 points of light were flickering in the air. These points of light formed a huge cycle in the blink of an eye. Ha ha ha, no problem. Su Yu was overjoyed. Teacher Zhao's deduction was fine. This cultivation technique could be combined. The 108 divine apertures instantly erupted with a powerful willpower. Su Yu roared furiously. A long saber appeared in the air. In his mind, 8 divine runes instantly formed a saber. The divine runes battle technique was split apart. The 108 divine apertures formed a huge cycle. Willpower burst forth, divine runes were fused, and battle techniques were formed. They were all tier 2 divine runes. At this moment, the long saber that had fused with willpower was extremely powerful. Su Yu had even swallowed a drop of Ling Yun's blood essence. Yuan Qi burst forth. With the physical strength of the Ling Yun realm, coupled with the 108 divine apertures and the divine runes battle technique, Su Yu had reached a peak at this moment. The small hammer instantly disappeared into the void. Su Yu slashed at the small sword. Behind him, Zhou Pingsheng was shocked, but he sneered. It wasn't that simple. He had bought this divine talisman from an expert of the 8th level of the Mountain Sea realm. Of course, it wasn't as powerful after being made into a divine talisman. However, this was a divine skill, not a martial skill. Killing Su Yu wasn't a problem. This thing could even kill someone at the 8th or 9th level of the Ling Yun realm. Not to mention Su Yu. However, in the next moment, Zhou Pingsheng was shocked. At this moment, Su Yu suddenly disappeared. This wasn't the main point. The instant he disappeared, the small sword didn't turn around, but instead, it went straight for a person. The instant Su Yu disappeared, a person appeared in the place where he was. Li Minyu. At this moment, Li Minyu's face also turned pale. She was extremely shocked. Su Yu, B****. He actually knew how to shift positions. Li Minyu was just watching the show. Suddenly, her vision blurred and she appeared in front of Xiao Jian. Xiao Jian instantly locked onto her. Originally, it was Su Yu, but Su Yu used some unknown method. Under the shift positions, Xiao Jian directly locked onto Li Minyu and slashed towards her sea of consciousness. On the other side, Zhou Pingsheng was also shocked. How could this be? Just as he was thinking, he was shocked and instantly retreated. Just as he retreated, a blade light flashed. Puchi. A leg flew up and was chopped off by Su Yu. With a sneer, Su Yu swung his blade again. Do you think you will win for sure? Trash is trash. Su Yu didn't care about what happened behind him and quickly charged towards Zhou Pingsheng. Behind him, Li Minyu's shocked expression changed. In the next moment, it turned into indifference. She frowned slightly and looked at Su Yu. Looking at the small sword in front of her, Li Minyu shook her head slightly as if she was helpless. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1070. 1070 Chapter 258 Beheading Zhou Pingsheng 3. What a crafty kid. And what a ruthless heart. At this moment, the blue sky that was bursting with spiritual sense was even thinking, if Li Minyu wasn't here, would Su Yu use the Ji family's girl to block the sword? It was very possible. This kid seemed to be kind, but in reality, he was really ruthless. Ji Xiaoming didn't know friend or foe, he wouldn't care about her life or death. In the next moment, a faint pressure exploded from Li Minyu's body. In a flash, her spiritual sense instantly collapsed. Boom! The small sword in front of her exploded at the same time as her spiritual sense. With a loud boom, Li Minyu was sent flying backward, bleeding profusely. However, the small sword collapsed. Cough, cough. Blood spilled out, and Li Minyu regained her consciousness. Her face was unsightly. Her master's spiritual sense had shattered. Su Yu. Gritting her teeth, Su Yu was so ruthless. She didn't mean any harm, but he actually used her to block the sword. At the side, Ji Xiaoming squatted down and poked her chest with a branch. She asked curiously, "You're still alive? Is your master still coming?" What a miserable person. This senior sister was so pitiful. The power of the small sword's explosion had poked 7 or 8 holes in her chest. Could she recover from that? Would there be a scar if she recovered? How pitiful. Su Yu was so cruel. She looked over in fear. He was truly fierce. Li Minyu spat out blood and ignored her. However, she was secretly annoyed. Her master's parapsychic sense had been shattered. What should she do now? Just as she was thinking, a rope appeared in Ji Xiaoming's hand and she began to tie her up. She giggled and said, "My father said that if I capture your master, I'll be cut into 1,000,000 pieces. If I capture you, I'll get 1,000 merit points. I still want to capture you." As she spoke, her speed was not slow. In the blink of an eye, she had tied Li Minyu up tightly. Li Minyu struggled for a moment, but she realized that the rope was extremely tough and could not be broken. "Ji Xiaoming, your father is no match for my master. My master is not active in the Great Xia Mansion. Why are you making an enemy out of us?" Ji Xiaoming giggled. "No, you were beaten up by Su Yu and Teacher Zhou. I caught you while I was at it. Why don't you give me 1,000 merit points and I won't capture you?" Li Minyu snorted and ignored her. "No, your merit points are all mine." As she said that, she fumbled around her body for a while and a merit card appeared. She was just about to take away Li Minyu's merit points when Su Yu slashed out again. With a PFFT, he cut off one of Zhou Pingsheng's arms and sneered, "Ji Xiaoming, don't take anything that isn't yours. That is my trophy." Ji Xiaoming's movements were stiff as she said dryly, "Her teacher is very powerful. It's not worth it for you to offend her teacher. What's mine is mine. Believe it or not, if you snatch what's mine, even what's yours isn't yours." Ji Xiaoming pouted and was a little angry. She threw the merit card on the ground. Seeing that Su Yu wasn't paying attention, she kicked the merit card a little further away. "You might forget about it later, and I can pick it up." I picked it up. This should be enough, right? Li Minyu was a little bitter. I was actually tied up by such a person. There's no justice. I've embarrassed my master. Su Yu did not care about them anymore. Blue Sky was not bad. He blocked a sword for me. These people were still useful. The next one to come would be Ji Xiaoming. At this moment, because Zhou Pingsheng used the mountain and sea divine talisman, his sea of consciousness was greatly depleted. Su Yu's hammer sneak attack hit his sea of consciousness, cutting off a leg and an arm. His strength was greatly reduced. Meanwhile, Su Yu, whose strength had erupted to the Lingyan realm, was at his peak at this moment. In the blink of an eye, Zhou Pingsheng had thrown away his armor and was riddled with injuries. Meanwhile, Zhou Pingsheng could not care less about his injuries at this moment. He roared, "Kill him, kill him. There's something wrong with his divine runes battle technique, there's something wrong with his god aperture. This was not right. 8 divine runes battle technique. 108 divine apertures. This wasn't right." In the distance, Jin Yuhui's expression also changed. He muttered, "A divine inscription battle technique with 8 divine inscriptions. No, this isn't right, this is splitting, splitting. Bai Feng." At this moment, he also thought of Bai Feng from that day. His expression changed greatly. Splitting. He actually split a divine inscription battle technique. At this moment, he was a little crazy as he roared, "Su Yu, can it be disassembled, can it be combined?" He knew too much. He also walked the path of divine literature fusion, he really knew too much. Su Yu sneered, "Take a guess." "It's definitely possible." He roared, "It's definitely possible." Bai Feng, is it Bai Feng or you? Or Hong Tan? No, it's not Hong Tan, it's either you or Bai Feng. Some of the others didn't understand. But Jin Yuhui understood. In the next moment, Yu Hong's face changed. She also understood. The expressions of the few experts of the single divine one faction changed. At this moment, they all understood. Xia Wen even roared, "Su Yu, can we split it up? What's next? Can we recombine it later? Can we split it up, can we fill it up?" This was enough to change the entire civilization master faction. Su Yu laughed, "Yes, of course we can." Xia Wen roared, "Kill, second brother, go all out. Protect Su Yu and spread the news. Protect Su Yu." This was enough to cause a huge change in the entire civilization master realm. It would allow the strength of countless experts who did not cultivate many divine runes to increase greatly. They could even break through the boundaries of mountains and seas to the sun and moon. This might allow the human race to give birth to dozens of suns and moons. This might allow the entire civilized master realm to become 50% stronger. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1071. 1071 Chapter 258, Beheading Zhou Pingxing 4. This was more important than any relic. This was more important than Su Yu himself. Would Bai Feng know? He should. However, Bai Feng was currently in the heavenly battlefield, and no one knew whether he was dead or alive. Only Su Yu was still alive. Did the others know? He wasn't sure. He could only protect Su Yu and not let this technique be lost. He was crazy, and so were Xia Wu and Hu Hao. Everyone knew how powerful this technique was. Hu Hao had his suspicions the last time, but today, when he saw Su Yu explode again and saw clearly that it was an 8 divine one combat technique, he was also shocked. He was not wrong the last time. Xia Wen shouted, "Pegasus and the Mountain Antelope clan, listen up. Protect Su Yu. Even if you have to die, you must escort him out. The great Xia clan will definitely give you a great reward." He represented the Xia family. At this moment, he could. The old Pegasus wings were broken, and the mountain wildebeest warrior's horns were also broken. However, they could not care less and exploded one after another. Meanwhile, Blood Raksha was also looking at Su Yu with sparkling eyes. Capture Su Yu. He could not be killed. Those 108 divine apertures and those 8 divine inscriptions could no longer be hidden from those powerful warriors. Everyone had realized something. Boom! Jin Yuhui made his move. He didn't care about anything else. He slapped his palm toward Zhao Tianbing. He wanted to grab Su Yu. As a Sun-Moon realm expert, he had already comprehended some things. After reaching the Sun-Moon realm, he was an expert who had fused 8 divine runes. He was thinking, this invincibility, could it only be achieved with a divine runes battle technique? But he didn't have it. He was already unable to outline it. At this moment, he roared, "Su Yu, can you outline the divine literature battle techniques again after soaring into the sky? Tell me, can you do it?" Until this moment, those who didn't understand all understood. In the sky, even the one-eyed great demons widened their eyes. The multi-divine literature series was popularizing the world. What kind of joke was this? A group of butchers, because there were few people, cultivation was difficult, but now, it could be popularized. They could outline the battle techniques after they soared into the sky. Holy shit! If that was the case, the myriad worlds in the heavens would be shaken. Outside. Zhu Tiandao wiped his sweat. He muttered, "Holy shit, 108 divine apertures, and it's even a basic text formula." Innate blood essence, divine text battle techniques can be divided, and after they soar into the sky, they can outline divine text battle techniques. Old ho, you have to kill me to silence me. I can't hold on, not even the Daming Manor can. Any one of these could shake the human realm. Was my luck so good that it exploded, or was I going to be unlucky? If this spread out, I would be in great trouble. Even my father might not be able to hold on. Especially the splitting of divine text battle techniques. After soaring into the sky, would one be able to sketch it out again? If it was possible, a large number of experts from the single divine text department, experts from other factions, or experts from the entire civilized master domain, would go crazy. It wasn't that everyone didn't want to cultivate the multiple divine languages faction, it was just that they couldn't learn it. Wuxia's high-grade talent only managed to outline 9 divine languages. This was still high-grade talent, which Qin Yongdong's daughter taught him step by step. It was too difficult. Only freakish students had the qualifications to outline divine language battle techniques smoothly. How many freakish students did the Great Xia residents have in a year? Did they really think that everyone could learn it? Did they really think that everyone didn't want to learn it? Did they really think that just the divine literature department alone really wanted to be a single divine literature department? They were just envious and jealous, which was why they said that the other party consumed a lot of resources. Who didn't want to be invincible among those of the same level? If I can't be a multi-divine literature department, then if you can be a multi-divine literature department, then you'll be a trash that consumes a lot of resources. But if I can be one, then of course I'll be one. How fragrant. At this moment, Zhu Tiandao was sweating profusely. This matter was really going to blow up. Holy shit. Just what kind of genius did I bring back this time? No, that by phone can do it too. My Daming Prefecture. The Daming Prefecture has produced a genius. Your disciple is already here, why aren't you here? You were originally from the Daming Prefecture. At this moment, Zhu Tiandao was agitated. No more fishing, it's about time, kill. Old ho, kill them. No, get some men over here and seal off Starfall Mountain. Kill them all, forget it. I won't kill those fellows from the Great Xia Mansion anymore. Xia Longwu knows what to do with them. What was there to fish for? Was catching a few suns and moons more important than Suyu? Let's hurry up and get them home first. Just as he was about to leave, Director Ho suddenly said, "Wait a little longer." Zhu Tiandao's movements had also stopped. He could feel it too. He was even earlier than Director Ho. His gaze changed for a moment before he cursed again, F***ck. At this moment, Suyu did not care about that. He attacked crazily. One slash after another. The third level of time, Invincible War, also kept on kicking out. Zhou Pingsheng's willpower burst forth and his Yuan Qi burst forth. However, just as his willpower burst forth, he was bitten down by the little fur ball, causing him to continuously howl in pain. The mountain and sea divine talisman had consumed too much energy previously. Furthermore, he had been ambushed by Su Yu and had his legs and arms broken. At this moment, his strength had been greatly reduced, and he was only at the 4th or 5th level of Ling Yun. As for Su Yu, the strength that he had unleashed was also at the 2nd level of Ling Yun. Coupled with his powerful martial techniques, they were all top-tier heaven-grade cultivation techniques. Zhou Pingsheng was not a match for them, and the little hairy ball had contributed greatly to this as well. With it around, half of Zhou Pingsheng's path as a civilized master had been destroyed. The will of a civilized master was constantly damaged, and the divine runes didn't dare to erupt, so how could he fight against Suyu? The more he fought, the weaker Zhou Pingxing became. As for Su Yu, the more he fought, the braver he became. Even though his body was constantly breaking apart, and this was due to too much burden, he was still valiant. You trash, you keep picking on me. If it wasn't for you trash, I wouldn't have come this far. I've wanted to kill you for a long time. You framed my senior uncle, insulted my senior sister, you dog-like thing. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1072 1072 Chapter 258 Beheading Zhou Pingxing Qiu Subscribe, 5. Let your student harm me. I'll kill you first. Su Yu shouted sternly, killing Zhou Pingxing until he was bleeding non-stop. Pft. Another sound of flesh entering flesh was heard. Zhou Pingxing's waist was cut by his blade. With a PFFT sound, it cut through his waist. Zhou Pingxing roared loudly and forcefully merged with his body. His face was pale. At this moment, a large hand instantly grabbed towards Su Yu. It covered the sky and covered the sun. How dare you! Zhao Tianbing and Jin Yuhui both roared and attacked that large hand. That wasn't one of them. As for the Blood Fire Sect's deputy sect master, Shui Luosha, he finally heaved a sigh of relief and shouted, "Greetings, sect master." New sect master. The old sect master was dead, but he was still the deputy sect master. There was no other reason. A new sect master had taken over. Even though there were 2 suns and moons here, he didn't leave. He was waiting for the new sect master, and his confidence came from the new sect master. At this moment, a figure appeared in the air. There was a horn on his head. The Bloodfire Demon Race. The true demon race. The godly demon race. The Sun and Moon Realm. Zhao Tianbing and Jin Yuhui's expressions changed. F*CK, the Bloodfire Demon race actually sent a Sun and Moon Realm expert over to infiltrate the human realm and become the sect master. They were preparing to go all out. 5th level Sun and Moon. Zhao Tianbing's expression changed. He saw the 5 suns and moons in the other party's eyes, an expert at the 5th level Sun and Moon. At this moment, the sect master of the Bloodfire Demon sect stepped through the air and looked at Su Yu. He said with a faint smile, "The human race is indeed worthy of being the favored child of the heavens. This talent is terrifying. Splitting the battle techniques with divine runes, if this succeeds, wouldn't the divine runes be revived?" Seeing this, Zhao Tianbing roared, "Jin Yuhui, join hands and kill him. He's a demon. Are you going to betray the humans? If you have selfish motives, then so be it. He's a member of the demon race." This was a demon god. An extremely powerful demon god. Powerful gods and demons were already stronger than ordinary humans, not to mention existences at the 5th level of the Sun-Moon realm. Noisy, don't even think about living. With a cold shout, the Blood-Fire Demon expert punched through the air and sent Zhao Tianbing flying. In the next moment, Jin Yuhui was also punched deep into the ground. Experts of the Blood-Fire Demon race. You can choose to join the Blood-Fire sect, but you have to be restricted by my demonic fire. Zhao Tianbing said coldly. This Sun-Moon realm demonic god was extremely powerful and could suppress the heavens and earth. Shui Luosha was extremely excited. A backup plan? You guys are more powerful than me. I've waited until now and kept silent. I'm waiting for the sect master. A 5th level Sun and Moon realm expert is also a devil expert. Even a 6th level Sun and Moon realm expert might not be a match for him. After knocking away the 2 Sun and Moon realm experts, he looked at Su Yu again. He smiled and said, "Your name is Su Yu. Very interesting. Even if there are ruins here, they shouldn't be too powerful. Join the devil race and transform your devil body. The devil race will give you an opportunity to enter the mountain and see Sun and Moon realm. He smiled and looked at Zhou Pingsheng. Such trash is not even worthy to be a toilet for you in our demon race. Joining our blood-fire demon race, such trash dares to provoke and exterminate our race. Who dares to disobey? Su Yu raised his head and looked at him. He smiled and said, I like to hear this. I didn't expect that the demon race actually took a liking to me. This is much better than the single divine text element. As soon as these words were said, Jin Yuhui, who had flown up from the ground, said furiously, Su Yu, you are indeed colluding with the demon race. Su Yu laughed and couldn't be bothered to pay attention to him. He smiled and said, this demon race expert, how about giving me some time? I will kill this fellow. At most, 1 minute. Then, we can talk again. In the sky, this 5th-level sun-moon demon god laughed and said, good. My demon race welcomes you. If you have enemies, kill them yourself and eliminate them by their roots. He laughed out loud. He could wait. After all, this place was locked down today. Unless these guys surrendered to the devil race, none of them would be spared. Su Yu didn't care about this. What was he thinking? You're at the 5th level of the sun and moon. There's a 9th level of the sun and moon outside. Of course, he suppressed this matter and didn't think about it, in case others sensed it. He was also speechless in his heart. I wanted to fish for a big fish like the single divine text, not you, but in the end, is your blood fire sect crazy? Only the sect leader would be willing to die every day. How long had the last one been dead? Here it comes again. At this moment, Zhou Pingsheng couldn't hold on any longer. At this moment, the other 2 Ling Yun were killed. The Waterman and the Shadow revealed their true bodies one after another. Their injuries were severe. Drops of black ink like blood flowed beneath the Shadow. On the Waterman's side, there was also a pool of water under the ground. As for the mountain drill ox and Swan and I, they had long been beaten until their bodies were covered in blood. But at this moment, the few great demons were trembling. Swan and I was really going to cry. It's too dangerous outside. It's better to imprison me. 3 Sun-Moon Realm Cultivators. A demon god at the 5th level of the Sun-Moon Realm. This was also very rare in the heavenly battlefield. A sun-moon battle might only erupt once every 3 to 5 years. Su Yu ignored them, and the little furball bit down again. As for Su Yu, the little hammer attacked crazily. 1 hammer, 2 hammers, 3 hammers. The others were all watching and were shocked. Su Yu's methods were terrifying. What kind of godly skill was this? So powerful. Zhao Tianbing, who had blood dripping from the corner of his mouth, suddenly understood why his junior brother had come to save him. He was a genius. This was the soul-expanding technique. This kid had even cultivated the soul-expanding technique to such an extent. If it wasn't for the soul-expanding technique, he would have already soared into the sky. Zhou Pingsheng, remember to be a good person in your next life. Su Yu snorted coldly and slashed down with his saber. Zhou Pingsheng shrieked, I'm willing to join the blood fire demon sect. Save me. Sir, save me. Su Yu shouted, if you take him in, it'll be a deadly grudge. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1073. 1073 Chapter 258 Beheading Zhou Pingsheng 6. In the air, the sun-moon demon god smiled and said indifferently, it's useless to collect trash. Ha ha ha. Su Yu laughed. You trash, even the demon race doesn't want you, ha ha ha. He laughed maniacally. Zhou Pingsheng's face was full of despair. He was not resigned. He still had many things to do, many dreams to complete, many things to take, and many benefits to enjoy. You forced me. Hom Long. His body exploded, and in the next moment, a jade pearl appeared, and he swiftly fled. Spirit accumulation pearl. Some people exclaimed in shock. There were even such good items. Just how many benefits had this fellow obtained over the years? The mountain and sea divine talisman was worth tens of thousands of merit points. The spirit accumulation pearl was even more expensive. Even if he didn't reach the mountain and sea realm, his body would explode, leaving behind a wisp of willpower. The other party would still be able to escape. There was still hope for him to survive. Pooh! Su Yu spat out blood and flew backward. Zhou Pingsheng's body exploded, almost causing him to be seriously injured. Seeing that the spirit accumulation pearl was about to reach Jin Yuhui, Su Yu gritted his teeth and suddenly swallowed a few drops of blood. With a roar, he slashed out with his saber. At this moment, 180 god apertures were opened. Don't forget that the blood essence of the 5 elements race could temporarily open god apertures. It was just that Su Yu was usually unwilling to open them. He opened the first god's aperture by opening these god's apertures, absorbing willpower, and then opening the god's aperture. At this moment, Su Yu's sea of consciousness shook violently. The 180 god's apertures formed a large circle instantly, and an incomparably powerful willpower spread out. It was truly comparable to Ling Yun. In other words, if Su Yu really opened 180 god's apertures, he would be comparable to Ling Yun's civilized master in the recuperation stage. Cut! With a loud roar and a loud rumble, the god accumulation pearl was directly cut into pieces by him. Boom! The sound of an explosion rang out, followed by a miserable shriek. Zhou Pingsheng let out a miserable shriek, and a phantom appeared. It looked at Su Yu, struggling and shrieking miserably. Bang, 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 that phantom started to explode. Su Yu, even if I become a ghost, I won't let you off. He had been killed by Su Yu. He was not resigned to it. He has a god-grade formula, we can't let him live. At the moment of his death, he wanted to drag Su Yu down with him. God-grade formula, basic formula. Su Yu had to die. There was no God-grade formula in the entire universe. With a bang, it completely exploded. And at this moment, everyone's gaze was on Su Yu. Was this still a human? God-grade formula? Really? 144 divine apertures, that was a top-grade heaven-ranked art. Above 144, that was a divine art. Su Yu had just opened more than 144 divine apertures. Silence. Even the sun and moon demon god was looking at Su Yu silently at that moment. Divine art. As for Su Yu, he had a calm expression. His yuan qi was beginning to boil, and his willpower was beginning to boil. Awesome. Killing Zhou Pingsheng was awesome. Old Zhu, it's up to you. I don't care anymore. He had fished too much. Killing a few Ling Yun was enough. He couldn't get involved in the rest. As for exposing too many things today, he would be exposed. Since he had already exposed so much, why would he care about exposing one more? I want to enter Daming Mansion with an invincible stance. I want to make the great Xia Prefecture regret it to death. Of course, if the Daming Prefecture coveted these things, he would give them to them. After giving them away, he would find an opportunity to escape. The world was so big, but there was still no place for him to live. If there really wasn't, then he would go to the heavenly battlefield, to the myriad worlds to seek survival. Zhou Pingsheng was dead. Su Yu was also happy. The entire battlefield was instantly halted by Su Yu. Even the mountains and seas stopped fighting at this moment. They all looked at Su Yu, their eyes filled with shock. Was this really a student? Wasn't this the work of the invincible old demon? P.S. I can't finish it today. I can't write anymore. I've updated 28,000 today. I really can't write anymore. Let's continue tomorrow. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories. Chapter 1074. 1074 Chapter 259, Old Zhu makes his move 1. Divine Art. In the sky, the previously silent sanguine inferno fiend celestial looked at Su Yu and said slowly, Divine Art, Yuan Art, I've heard of it before. It exists in the myriad realms. As for literary art, even if it exists, it's only mentioned in some legends. The fiend celestial looked at Su Yu with a strange expression. Whether a cultivation technique is powerful or not, it's actually very important. Even if it's not important, it's not too important. What I'm more curious about is, did you inherit it or how did you obtain it? If it was inheritance, was it inheritance from a relic or something else? For example, it was passed down by an extremely powerful warrior. If it was inheritance from a relic, then the relics here would be extremely shocking. He looked at the mountain wall and saw the sun and moon revolving in his eyes. Was this the relic? He didn't pay much attention to it before. But now, many relics discovered by the human race could only stop people from reaching the sun and moon. To him, a relic that stopped people from reaching the sun and moon was not very useful. But what if it was an invincible relic? At this moment, Blood Raksha had already rushed to his side. She no longer attacked the old heavenly horse and the mountain antelope. At this moment, she quickly sent a voice transmission, Sect Master, in case something bad happens in the future. It was time to kill. After killing all these people, she would take Su Yu away. As for this relic, she did not need to open it for the time being. She just needed to find an opportunity to open it again, or she could make a fortune today and run away. The demonic god ignored him. His gaze first fell on Su Yu, then quickly turned to Ji Xiaomeng and Li Minyu. A faint smile appeared on his face. Lan Tian and Ji Hong. These two were interesting. He didn't waste any more words. He reached out with his hand and grabbed at Ji Xiaomeng at an extremely fast speed. With a boom, a powerful force of will exploded out from Ji Xiaomeng's body, but it had no effect on the giant hand. That will power could be used against mountains and seas, but against him, who was at the 5th level of the sun-moon realm, the difference was too great. The giant hand blotted out the sky. Following the will power, it seemed to reach into the void. A moment later, a muffled groan came from the void. With a bang, the void exploded. Ji Hong. The demon god murmured and smiled. It's time to go. Ji Hong has sensed it. Lan Tian had also sensed it. In this place, the two sun and moon divine thoughts had possessed him. The demonic god did not care about their intentions. His true body should still be quite a distance away. He had broken through Ji Xiaomeng's divine thoughts protection. In the next moment, he did not care about Ji Xiaomeng and Li Minyu. These two people were still useful to him. With that said, he used his hand to cover the sky and once again grabbed at Jin Yuhui and Zhao Tianbing. After killing the two suns and moons, they would talk again. The two of them roared and attacked at the same time. Jin Yuhui's divine runes erupted, and Zhao Tianbing also revealed a long sword. The power of the long sword shook the sky, and it was extremely terrifying. Rumble. Loud sounds continued, and the surrounding mountains were flattened. Jin Yuhui roared, "What are you still standing there for? Join hands and kill him." This fellow from the Blood Fire Devil sect wanted to kill them all. 5th stage Sun-Moon realm. With such strength, even in the Great Xia mansion, there were only a few people who could take down the other party. This time, the Blood Fire Divine sect really put in a lot of effort. The experts from the Blood Fire Demon race personally sneaked in. Initially, they thought that one sun-moon was more than enough to deal with Su Yu and the others. Who knew that in the end, they actually attracted so many experts. At the outer perimeter. Zhu Tiandao was prepared to make his move. Director Ho transmitted his voice, "Man ahead, aren't we waiting? I feel that Jin Yuhui might continue to look for helpers. Should we continue fishing? In any case, we've already reached this stage. No need. If we continue fishing, we'll be able to fish up all the sun and moon in the Great Xia Manor. It'll be difficult for us to make a move." As Zhu Tiandao spoke, he smiled and said, "Also, it's time to reel in the net. If we don't reel in the net, I'm worried that we'll get into trouble. It's already very troublesome now." With that, Zhu Tiandao flew into the void and said, "Don't go. Take charge of the formation for me. Don't let any of them go. Block all information and cut off all communications." "Yes." Director Ho didn't say anything more. He quickly controlled the formation, and the entire Mount Xinglua was covered in a layer of gray fog. This was a formation talisman created by the great Ming King. Only those in the Sun-Moon realm or above could escape. In the Starfall Mountains, the battle was still going on. At this moment, the mountains and seas were hesitating. Who should they deal with? Should they join hands? Just now, everyone was fighting fiercely. Was it appropriate to join hands now? Would they be attacked by someone else? With all kinds of worries, these people didn't make a move. After all, there were 2 suns and moons. How could they die so easily? As for the blood-fire demon, he also said indifferently, "If you join our blood-fire god sect, you won't die today. Jin Yuhui, do you think you will have a good ending today? If I release some images, what will happen to you? Unless you have the confidence to keep me. Is it possible?" He smiled and said, "Don't worry, you don't need to follow me. You will continue to be your mansion master and your pavilion elder. The blood-fire god sect will not command you until the critical moment. If one day, you are strong enough to kill me, I will take the initiative to return the images to you. The blood-fire demon race can provide you with everything you want." He was bewitching them. "At this moment, can you kill me to silence me? If you can't, then you can only join the blood-fire god sect." He was actually looking forward to these people joining the blood-fire god sect. Many people had profited greatly this time. 1 sun and moon, many mountains and seas. If he could recruit these people, the blood-fire demon race's strength in the human realm would soar by a large margin. A wise man submits to circumstances. He kept on attacking, suppressing Zhao Tianbing and Jin Yuhui, beating them until they were bleeding profusely. The 2 of them were both at the 1st level of the sun and moon, while he was at the 5th level of the sun and moon. He was also at the 5th level of the sun and moon of the demon race, and was good at fighting. Even if the 2 of them joined hands, they would not be able to defeat him.